Playoff implications, a district championship, all that is on the line in the regular season finale. It's Kentwood versus Southern Lab on Game Time. Coming up next. Come on. Welcome to Baton Rouge and the campus of Southern University for the YurView Louisiana Game of the Week. It's the Kentwood Kangaroos taking on the Southern Lab Kittens. A district title in 6-1A is on the line in this matchup, the final one for the 2018 regular season. Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Palermo along with Jason DeQuire. Thanks for starting your football weekend with us. There is a top 5 battle a few miles down the road from us tomorrow in Tiger Stadium, but we got another top 5 battle for you here tonight as Southern Lab is ranked number 1 in Class 1A. Kentwood is ranked number 5. Kentwood is without Trey Palmer, the LSU commitment tonight, but they have a lot of talent even without Trey Palmer.
Yeah, they do, and you can see right there the records are evenly matched except for district play. And as you mentioned, Jeff, Southern Lab comes into this undefeated, and Kentwood suffered 1 loss. But tonight they could equalize it, and this is really for the district title. I think for Kentwood, they're going to have to slow down this running game of Southern Lab with Ty Davis and, of course, the LSU commit Cardell Thomas. But for Kentwood, they're going to need to get some production out of their quarterback, T.J. Hookfin, and their receiver, Ed McGee.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, you mentioned a couple of our key players, so let's go to that right now. For the Kentwood Kangaroos, again, no Trey Palmer, so Ed McGee, a guy they will really count on tonight, not only on offense but defense as well.
Yeah, he's the real speedster, the playmaker on this team. He can be the difference maker, I believe, tonight. As you can see there, his stats on the season, but Hookfin is going to have to stay a little bit clean and get him the football so that he can make those plays.
Cardell Thomas, Mr. Pancake, one of the top offensive linemen in the country.
And you see the big smile there, one of the best personalities in high school football. I mean, just does it all on the offensive line, can also go on the defensive line, and you better believe when they need to get the yardage or the tough yards, they're going to run right behind Mr. Pancake.
For more on the Southern Lab Kittens, let's go to the third member of our broadcast crew, Smacker Miles.
Guys, this Southern Lab team is hot to say the least. They're on a 7-game win streak, their only loss being week 2 at U High, so that's obviously a great loss to have as your only loss of the season. They're coming off a 60-point offensive show and a defensive shutout against White Castle. Here's what Coach Asbury had to say about where his team is as they head into their last regular season game.
Well, I think we're starting to hit on all cylinders now. We, did the preseason just like we expected it. If we could get out of it 4-1, the guys persevered. We have a lot of injuries, but they've overcame a lot of adversity. So we're pleased with it.
It is senior night for the Southern Lab Kittens. There's a look at Cardell Thomas playing in his final home game in the regular season. We're moments away from kickoff.
Game Time on YurView is brought to you by Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Ready to serve you with auto, homeowners, life insurance, and more. Real service, real people. West Feliciana Parish. The best place for you to live and work in South Louisiana is West Feliciana Parish. Check out wfparish.org. ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. And by Peak Performance. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone stronger, faster, better.
I think that people want to be in West Feliciana because it's truly one of the unique parts of Louisiana. That if you live in West Feliciana, you can have it all. You can have a great lifestyle, a government that works for you and is open and transparent. You can have wonderful neighbors. You can have a great school. You can live in an environment that's free of fear from crime. We're less than 20 minutes from the Baton Rouge Airport, 30 minutes from the state capitol. What we have in West Feliciana is a place where you really can have it all.
When I get back to Baton Rouge, I get in my Bluesmobile and I drive right on down to Partner's Barbecue. And you know what I do? I get me some ribs, all tender too. Some baked beans, some potato salad, some smoked sausage. You got to come on down to Partners Barbecue, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Great night for high school football as we wrap up the regular season here on Game Time, the YurView Louisiana Game of the Week with Kentwood taking on Southern Lab. Let's take a look at your weather for tonight's ball game, and you can't ask, like I say, for a better night on the first Friday in November. 0 chance of rain and a cool 59 degrees here on the Bluff on the campus of Southern University. Well, we heard a little from Daryl Asbury, the head football coach from Southern Lab. Let's go back down to Smacker Miles, who spoke with Jonathan Foster a few moments ago.
Jeff, this team is coming off their only loss of the year. Kentwood got beat by Ascension Catholic last weekend. That was a 5-point loss. But Coach Foster said his team did not get down about it because they know their ultimate goal, which is a state title, is still in front of them. Here's what he had to say about how tonight's game can set his team up for a great playoff run.
Anytime you go into the playoffs, which start next week, you want to go in with momentum. And anytime you're playing a team like Southern Lab, which is, probably one of the most talented teams in the
Crowd on hand here at A.W. Mumford Stadium for this final game of the 2018 season. Let's take a look at our keys to victory in this one. First of all, for Kentwood and their head football coach, Jonathan Foster.
Well, they need to protect Hookfin. With one of their main backers out of the game, he's going to need to stay clean and get the ball off. Don't let Davis get started. Obviously, the LSU commit, Ty Davis, their big running back, he starts going, it could be a long night. And then one that I don't think they're going to have a problem with when you face Southern Lab, play with energy and with confidence.
And then for the Southern Lab Kittens, who come in with the same record as Kentwood at 8-1, their head coach, Daryl Asbury, in his second season.
Well, they want to stay disciplined, and that means on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, minimize the penalties. Then they need to not just win, but improve in the kicking game if they want to continue to have success. And then they want to contain Hookfin. Obviously, we mentioned him. He is going to need to have a big night tonight.
Southern Lab won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so Kentwood will get the football. And there's a look at Coach Daryl Asbury in his second season. Last year, the Kittens were 5-5 in a very tumultuous season with the firing of Marcus Randall right before the season started. Daryl Asbury walked in about a week before the first game, and they got blown out in that first game, if you remember, to Riverside, like 51-0. But came back and had a respectable season. Lost a tough 1-point game to Kentwood last year, and this year the Kittens are off to a great start, 8-1, 4-0 in district play. For the Kentwood Kangaroos, Jonathan Foster took over as the head coach in 2014 from David Currier, who was the longtime head coach at Kentwood. Jonathan Foster was a star football player at a meet in the 1990s who won a state title with the Warriors in '94, and then ended up playing college football at ULM. He has been a coach at Kentwood since 2003. Kangaroos won a state championship under Foster in 2015, and last year they were runner-ups in 1A, losing to West St. John 20-14. This should be a fun one. A lot of Division I prospects here tonight. for both of these teams. Southern Lab will have Nicholas Hudson kicking off. And back to return for Kentwood, it's Ed McGee. And you also have to worry about guys like Rodarian Robbins back there as well. And here is the kickoff, the final game of the 2018 regular season underway as Kentwood takes it at the 30, and a big return right off the bat. Keandre Fultz up to midfield to the 45-yard line, and that's where the Kangaroos will take over. Their starting quarterback is a senior, 5'10", 168-pound T.J. Hookfin, who has thrown for nearly 2,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, and just 6 interceptions on the year. He did not play last season. Baseball player. He's got a good arm, and he likes to show it off. Kentwood throws the ball around a lot more this year than they did a year ago, and they start off this football game with 5 wide receivers. And Hookfin in the pocket goes down right away. Chris Welch, who always seems to make plays when we televise Kitten football games. Let's look at the starting lineups for Kentwood, averaging 31 points a game. Tavian Brown and a host of other guys will carry the football. Cornelius Dyson is a UL Lafayette commitment, and he's only a junior. We told you about Ed McGee. Anthony Holden made a couple of big plays against Southern Lab last year. The offensive line, Bryce Cooper is the main guy there at guard. Running the football, that's Tavian Brown, the sophomore, 121 yards rushing on the season. He picks up a few yards up to the 48-yard line, and we have our first third down of the ball game. So Cornelius Dyson, Rodarian Robbins, Ed McGee, Anthony Holden, those are your main wide receivers for Kentwood. And they got a good group of them, even though Trey Palmer is not playing. Now, they hope to have Trey Palmer back at least by the second week of the playoffs. Movement on the line of scrimmage, and there are flags.
Yeah, it looked like maybe Mickey Miller, number 72, might have came out of his stance a bit early.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. We play third down.
Paul Berry is our referee tonight.
Yeah, watch on the right side of your screen right there. You see him come out of his stance, and not what you want to be doing if you got kind of a third and mid-range there. Now you're well behind the chains, closer to third 10, third and 11, that you now have to pick up for the first down.
3 seniors on that offensive line for Kentwood: Kendall Wilkerson, Derek Cohn, and Mickey Miller at right tackle. So third down and 12 from the 42-yard line. Opening drive of the night. Hookfin's got time to throw this time, but still runs out of the pocket as nobody was open. And nice job by Southern Lab's defense chasing him out of bounds for the Kittens. That was Jabbar Triplett, who has had a really good season.
Well, it'll be decision time for the Kangaroos, and you can see now, looks like they may be putting the punt team on the field. But look, had it not been for that penalty, they may have considered going for it on fourth down, but it looks like they're going to rush the punt team out here. I think it's the right decision early in this football game.
Kentwood is coming off its first loss of the season to Ascension Catholic, 12-7. So their offense has been struggling without Palmer. Palmer went down with an injury early in that game. Nice job on the punt by Ed McGee, 37 yards on it, and that will bring out Southern Lab's offense. And a look at their quarterback. Now, we saw Southern Lab back in week 2 against University High. Trayvon Miles got the start, and then he was replaced eventually in that game by a freshman quarterback who we may see in this game before it's all said and done, Izard Angelo. But Miles has been the main guy for most of the season, and he's actually thrown for about 1,000 yards this season, 10 touchdowns, and he's rushed for 239 yards as they take over at the 19-yard line. 3 starters on that offensive line that are 2-year starters, and they run it with Ty Davis off the right side, and a quick 9 yards for the LSU commitment. Let's take a look at your starting lineup for the Kittens, averaging 37 points a game on offense. Ty Davis, the LSU commitment. You see Christopher Welch. They are missing an important player as well in this game as they do not have Jarvis Thornton, one of their main running backs. Reginald Johnson is a really good wide receiver. Theodore Knox, Jaquise Wallace, a 3-year starter on the offensive line. Ty Davis breaking tackles and a very physical run, and then we got a flag there at the end.
Well, it's no secret what Southern Lab wants to do. They want to line up and run Ty Davis and run behind Cardell Thomas. And, you know, they're going to challenge Kentwood until they can actually stop it or force them to throw the football.
Kentwood not very big on defense. They're more small, fast. They get to the football quickly. Paul Berry with our first big call tonight.
Targeting on the offense.
Wow.
Check down.
Jeff, I don't know that I've seen that this year.
Not on the offensive side.
Well, here, let's see. I mean,
you can't use your helmet like that. That's a good call.
Yeah, he definitely used it to initiate the contact. But, you know, as targeting has really become a big talking point in this game and in the game of football, I think you're going to start seeing this thing getting called both on offense and defense, because the defensive players are always complaining. Well, the offensive players are doing it too, and they're not getting called. And you saw right there, it drew the hanky.
So now second down as it wipes out the first down run. They go right back to Davis, and there's nobody there to stop him. An easy first down up to the 40-yard line.
Well, I don't think this one is going to be targeting here. If anything, he may have grabbed his face mask at the end. But it looked like he kept his head fairly upright as the contact came that time.
It's a 17-yard run.
Foul. Face mask. That's number 9 on the defense. Result of the foul, first down.
Well, Ty Davis says, I'll just do the same play over again, keep my head up, and this time he draws the 15-yard flag by getting the face mask right there at the end. You can see it. Good job by the Cox camera crew picking that up. And
Jerrion Nichols, the guilty party there. So now Southern Lab moves into Kentwood territory at the 46-yard line. And that time they got in the backfield. Davis cannot stay on his feet as he loses a couple of yards. Let's take a look at the Kangaroos defense, allowing 11 points a game. And one of the things they wanted to do here tonight was not let Davis get started. And that's exactly what they want to see every time out. Kazaruni is a 4-year player, really super fast, 3 sacks on the season. Your linebackers, Bryce Cooper, is really good. He's got an offer from Tulane. Cornelius Dyson, Anthony Holden, Keandre Fultz is a speed track guy. They throw it and it's incomplete. Trying to get a bubble screen there, and it was off the receiver's hands. That's Reginald Johnson, the intended receiver.
Well, and you see Reginald Johnson over there just saying, hey, you don't have to throw it 120 miles an hour at me. And it was a little off target. This is one where, you know, Johnson typically could come up with this, but I think if Miles had let a little bit off of that, it would have made it an easier play, kind of catch and go there for Reginald Johnson. But you can see number 6 there. He needs to have a big night. If they're going to stretch the field or get some things through the air, it's going to be number 6 who's going to be your guy for Southern Lab.
3rd down and 13. Trayvon Miles will get underneath center. And here comes some pressure in the backfield again. And nowhere for Davis to run. Well, it looked like it was going to be an easy night running the football for Davis, but Kentwood's defense, led by Edward McGee, comes up strong after Southern Lab got into Kangaroo territory.
Yeah, this is the second time we saw Kentwood begin to bring pressure from the outside, not up the middle, but if you start bringing some of your defensive backs down along the line of scrimmage, then you kind of cheat a little bit and get some extra helmets in there in the backfield, and that's one of the ways you're going to have to stop Ty Davis in this running game.
Guidry back to punt. 2 men to return for Kentwood. Guidry gets a good leg into it. And it will lay dead at the 18-yard line. Kentwood Southern Lab, kind of like LSU Alabama when it comes to small school football. For more on this great rivalry, let's go down to the field. Smacker Miles.
Jeff, it's interesting you mention LSU Alabama because there are 3 LSU recruits on this field, 3 LSU commits, I should say. We have Trey Palmer from Kentwood, and we also have Ty Davis and Cardell Thomas from Southern Lab. This is going to be a physical battle all night. Both coaches said it. Kentwood won by 1 point last year, but obviously Southern Lab is very improved this year, so it's going to be a good one. Jeff?
Darryl Asbury said the big key in winning this game is you got to play with more intensity than the other team. And on the slip screen, pass is caught by Robbins, and he gets close to the first down. 23rd catch of the season for the junior wideout. 2nd down and 3 here for Kentwood as they try to get something going with TJ Hookfin.
Has Smacker started to add some extra layers on down there? Starting to cool off a bit down there, huh?
2nd and 3. It's only going to get colder, Smacker. Missed tackle, and that's a first down for the Kangaroos to the 35-yard line. First down for Kentwood as they got the ball out to Cornelius Dyson. Let's take a look at the Kittens defense. They're allowing 16 points a game. Chris Welch, Antonio Patterson, Tyler Guidry, the Raging Cajuns commitment. Jabbar Triplett has been really good. He's wearing number 9 tonight, by the way. Sherman Roof, as Kentwood goes to the ground here and picks up about 5 yards for the Kangaroos, as Tavian Brown getting another carry. Larry Carter is the leading rusher for Kentwood with with 650 yards rushing, but we have yet to see him out there.
Well, and you can see Kentwood, they want to play up tempo. They want to get a lot of plays in, run more of your traditional spread type offense.
Quick pass to the near side. This is Jeriel Brown. Brown, I think he's got enough for a first down to the 45. Had to get across the 44.
And when they're in that spread, Kentwood is just looking for matchups. They're not going to be as big and physical as Southern Lab, but they're quickly getting to the line of scrimmage looking, just getting my ball out to my skill guy. He knows that he can make a miss. You can see the size differential, but all he knows is, hey, let me try to get a couple yards, make a guy miss, and let's keep the chains moving and keep this offense going.
Nice block there by Rodarian Robbins, number 6. So another first down for the Kangaroos to the 45, and Brown gets another carry, this time for maybe a yard or 2, and that's it. Kittens defense there. Chris Welch, number 4, leading the way.
And they're going to have to keep Southern Lab's defense honest, and they will have to run some of these read option plays off tackle, but that's just keeping these guys honest. But that's not where you're going to get the big chunk of your yards. That's running it right into the real strength of this Kitten defense.
Sherman Ruth also there on the stop defensively. Another quick pass, and this could develop into something. No, McGee brought down after a pickup of 3. And it's 3rd down and 7. McGee made one guy miss. I thought maybe he might be able to turn it upfield. And this will be the second 3rd down opportunity for the Kangaroos. Could not convert on their first one.
Good thing Miles had some pepper on this ball, because you can see the Southern Lab defender. He had read the play in closing. It's just that Miles threw a fastball around the defender such that it wasn't intercepted.
Jabbar Triplett on the stop. 3rd down and 6. There's a laser for a first down. Anthony Holden to the 30-yard line. I told you, Hookfin's a pitcher. He threw a fastball there to Holden, who grabs it for his 7th catch of the season.
Yeah, well-designed play. Just a little slant, kind of sit down in the zone right there. Delivers a strike there to Holden. Good design play there. Good first down. Keeping these chains moving. Good drive here in the second series for Kentwood.
And Hookfin's a left-hander. Is Paul Maneri taking a look at this kid?
Yeah.
Pump fake, going deep and out of bounds. Tight coverage there by Edmund Weber, as the pass was intended for the all-district wide receiver Edward McGee.
Well, we saw another left-handed big-time baseball player quarterback last week with Central's quarterback.
Yeah, Sam Kennerson.
This guy's got a little bit more zip on it, but Kennerson threw for like 400 yards last week.
Yeah, threw for over 400 yards last week. Handoff, this is Larry Carter. Larry Carter has got a first down on the delay.
Well, Kentwood's offense is really kind of opening up here. You've seen him with a lot of the little outside stuff. You've seen him some runs up the middle. They're showing you the full package. And what happens when you start completing those little slant routes and you're having success out on the edges with the quick hitches, then the Larry Carters and the inside running game will begin to open up with you because you've essentially spread this Southern Lab defense out.
Reginald Johnson on the stop, and they are inside the red zone. Carter gets another carry here. Carter got hit hard, brought down after a gain of about 4. And there was also a flag there.
All right, we're going to go with other. We're going to still play.
Looks like the call's going to be against Southern Lab.
Face mask. That's a defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So that will actually make it about first down and 2 on a very impressive Kentwood drive.
Well, and here's where you got to be conscious of Hookfin being a ball carrier.
I think there was an offsides penalty, and there was. Guidry might as well, if you're Southern Lab, it's first down and 2, you might as well try to cheat.
Defense. First down.
Cheat in the fact of trying to get there and count the snap, not like
I used that word earlier, so I was just going to say the same explanation when I said it earlier today. Yes, cheat a few men in the box, but you can see right there, getting an early start. But clearly Hookfin, it was going to be a design run, and a lot of times when you see these spread teams and you got a mobile quarterback and you get down here and the field kind of shrinks on you, you will see them spread it out, empty backfield, and then you see more design runs from the quarterback, and that's essentially what they were dialing up right there. Obviously Southern Lab a chance to talk it over here.
Southern Lab, I believe, called timeout. Southern Lab comes into this game undefeated in district play. Its lone loss to the University High Cubs. While Kentwood was 8-0 before they lost last week to Ascension Catholic. So if Southern wins tonight, they outright district champs. But if Kentwood wins,
it's interesting, huh?
And then Ascension Catholic wins, then you got a 3-way tie for first place. Remember, it was Ascension Catholic who made it to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome last year to play for a state championship. Southern Lab was ineligible as a result of the LHSA sanctions. It was originally a 2-year postseason ban on Darrell Asbury's team. That was reduced to 1 after an appeal. And so the Kittens are eligible to play in the state championship game this year, if they get that far. First and goal with the football just inside the 4-yard line.
Well, this time they're going to bring, looks like they're going to bring Larry Carter in right next to Hookfin in the backfield. I got it. Another timeout here.
Well, I think they were finally motioning who the timeout was called, or who called the timeout.
So here we go. Maybe play some football now. Looks like, again, you got Carter and Hookfin in the backfield. And a lot of times here, look for the read option. They may try to read the defense here. A little read option with Larry Carter, and one other two may end up carrying this football.
Cardell Thomas is out there defensively, number 70. He's in the middle of that Southern Lab defense. And it's a mishandled snap. Hookfin gets a good bounce, and there he goes down to the ground. At the 14-yard line, Tyler Guidry was ready to hammer him if he tried to run the football, and all of a sudden, first and goal from the 4 becomes second and goal from the 13.
It's a big play, and look, the snap wasn't great, but one you figure Hookfin probably could have handled, and you can see Carter was getting ready for the read option there, and just threw all the timing off with the kind of high snap there, and good job by Hookfin just to get the ball, but obviously you're right, going from knocking on the door to now Got a little real estate to cover to get back in the end zone.
So now Hookfin, the lone man in the backfield, and another poor snap. Hookfin looking for somewhere, and he gets sacked. Nobody was open downfield. Sherman Ruth brought him down, and it's 3rd and goal from the 19 now.
Wow, this thing has just gone south for Kentwood's offense, and it's all because of 2 snaps here. And again, this one had no chance because it dribbled across the ground. And again, when you have those bad snaps like that, it just breaks up the rhythm and the tempo of that particular play.
Jabbar Triplett was there. Well, Jason, you say it all the time with these spread offenses. When they get inside the 5, it's like they're visiting a different country sometimes. We see it all the time. They struggle, and all it took here was a mishandled snap. And now Kentwood wants to call timeout.
Yeah, it's a good timeout, obviously. 3rd down, want to think about this and see if they can pick it up or at least make sure they're in field goal range.
2:54 left to go in the first quarter. 3rd and goal from the 19 for Kentwood. When we come back, this is Game Time on YurView.
Tonight's Game Time keys to the game are brought to you by West Feliciana Parish, where you really can have it all. The best place for you to live and work in South Louisiana is West Feliciana Parish. Check out wfparish.org.
Welcome to Monogram Express, a unique embroidery boutique specializing in personalized and one-of-a-kind gift ideas. Gifts for babies, children, ladies, and even men, we have you covered. Equipped with state-of-the-art embroidery machines along with an experienced client-focused staff serving you 6 days a week. Check out the area's largest selection of letters, designs, and thread colors. We're your one-stop embroidery shop, handling personal, corporate, team, and school logos, and you're welcome to bring in your own items. Conveniently located at 2109 Veterans. Monogram Express makes your ordinary gifts extraordinary.
Tonight's Game Time starting lineups are brought to you by Peak Performance. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone. Stronger, faster, better. Choose Peak.
Senior night at Southern Lab as the Kittens trying to complete an undefeated district season. Kentwood facing 3rd and goal at the 19. Hookfin will try to run it, and he can only get to the 16 as he's chased out of bounds. Nobody open downfield once again. Theodore Knox escorted him out of bounds, and Kentwood does not have a guy that could knock it through the uprights here, so they're going to go for it on 4th and goal from the 17.
And I think that's why they called the timeout to say, hey, look, we've got 2 downs to manage this. If we're not in field goal range, we're going to be thinking about, hey, what will our 4th down play be without having to call a timeout? And here we go.
Southern Lab has been getting excellent pressure on Hookfin here. This time they were getting ready for the screen over the middle. Touchdown if he got a foot in. No, he did not. Wow, what a throw by Hookfin in the back of the end zone. Robbins got behind the Kitten secondary, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, not sure how the Lab secondary lets Robbins free up because he is well guarded most of the route, and then Hookfin just lets one go in the back of the end zone, and how you get that ball through all of those defenders.
I thought he got a foot in.
Yeah,
oh, man.
That looked good to me. I mean, that looked clean, and I thought it looked clean from the original play, and man, oh, man.
Wow.
It's good to be at home.
Tough call goes against Kentwood as we watch it again.
Here we go again, and look, he was covered when he let this ball go and just throws it just over the top of 2 defenders.
Because he got control of it here.
Look at that right foot. And
the question is the old, when you look at it.
That's a catch,
That's
Jeff.
a catch, Jason.
That's a catch.
You can, ball kind of, I don't know.
I think what happened is when they saw him come down, that right foot had already come up. They didn't see it touch down when he initially caught the ball.
All right, let's go down to the field and Smacker Miles.
Jeff, this Kentwood team, their offense is without Trey Palmer. Their defense and their special teams is also without Trey Palmer. He's not only a receiver, but he's also a DB and a kick and punt returner for their special teams. He's a 5-star athlete, but Coach Foster said it's actually going to be harder to replace his leadership skills tonight than even his athletic abilities. That is quite the compliment for a 5-star athlete. Jeff?
Thanks a lot, Smacker. I saw him in the state championship game last year against West St. John. Now, granted, the dome is big, so maybe sometimes the players look a little smaller, but when I was on the field tonight, I was impressed with his size.
Yeah.
Trey Palmer. I mean, 6 foot, and he's just stocky, 190 pounds, and he's only going to get a little bit bigger.
No, it's a big-time athlete, and obviously, you know, big part of this production on offense they'll be missing tonight, but this guy's going to go on to have a good career at the next level.
I asked Jonathan Foster. I asked him, is he solid LSU? He said, yeah, but there is an Alabama assistant coach standing on the Kentwood sidelines right now.
All you got to do is win tomorrow.
2nd and 5, winding up and heaving it in the double coverage, and it's almost intercepted. Keandre Fultz nearly tracked that one down.
Yeah, and this ball here really thrown into double coverage, and the receiver, Reginald Johnson, is a guy they like to go deep with, and he's a big-time playmaker, but really he had to turn into a defensive back there and just kind of make sure that those two defensive backs there for Kentwood didn't intercept the football. So just a good job of Johnson kind of getting involved and touching the ball such that it doesn't get picked off.
Southern Labs 0 for 1 on 3rd downs. 3rd down and about 5. As you take a look at Fultz, he's really fast as a cornerback. They try to delay there, and the ball is on the ground, and Kentwood does have it.
I think he's got the ball, and again, this is a couple times tonight where we've kind of seen a botched snap/handoff, and this time Kentwood is going to get the ball in the red zone here.
Kewan McGee recovers the fumble. First turnover of the night. The fans from Tangipahoa Parish enjoy that play.
Yeah, again, see right there, just this is timing off, and quarterback, running back not on the same page, and that little botch right there is the difference. And obviously a big turnover. Good job by McGee noticing the football and being able to recover for the Kangaroos.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Blocking in front of Robbins as he fights for that 1st down. And he's got it inside the 5.
Well, Kentwood skill guys, look, they're not, big in terms of stature or size, but I tell you what, they're very quick and elusive. And you can see here when they get to the outside, they kind of roll off of tacklers and make guys miss and grind and gut it out for extra yards. A good play there on 1st down.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Now here's where Kentwood struggled with the snaps. They had the ball essentially right here just a series ago.
Carter to the 1 as he stopped. Well, there's a old phrase, the ball don't lie. Kentwood had what may have been a touchdown taken away from them. They might get that touchdown here as their 2nd and goal from the 1.
And you see here, going quick again, had success running the football with Carter. May go right back to him here.
Guidry again trying to anticipate that snap is offsides, and again, a good, might as well take a chance at it. It's balls at the 1.
2nd down.
Well, I think his eyes are getting big because he's realizing he looks like he's unaccounted for on that defensive line. You can see him out there kind of hanging out by himself, and that means that obviously Kentwood was probably going to option off of him, and sometimes you'll do that, but eyes get big when there's nobody lined up over you, and then you jump off sides, you go too early.
From the half-yard line. Carter into the end zone, I believe. Oh, man, I thought he got in.
Well, look, I don't know that the ball got
he
across.
didn't.
This one I think is going to be close here.
Oh, Tyler Guidry coming off the end.
I think when he was getting towards the end zone, it was his back that got turned around here. And right there, I don't think he got it.
That's a great call. Good call. But the ball is now basically, the nose of it is right on the goal line.
And it should be 4th down, right?
Third goal. Carter, he's got to fight for it. And that time he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Kangaroos.
Essentially the same play, but that's not a good sign. Carter is not getting up there.
That was a big hit at the goal line.
Yeah, it looked like he may have gotten a little stinger there the way he's holding that shoulder. Yeah, typically when you're holding that shoulder like that, probably a stinger. Got hit right there as he was crossing the goal line, but good job holding on to the football. Let's see if we can pick it up here. So he comes right off the right tackle, and boom, yeah, you can see lowering the boom right there on that shoulder. And I think that injury came before he even hit the ground on that initial contact.
Lucky held on to the football.
Yeah.
Dyson is 10 of 17 on extra point tries. Straight away. And it's good. Let's take a look at that touchdown run one more time here by Carter, his 4th touchdown run of the season.
There you go, and this time you can see the ball crossing the plane and taking that contact.
Just 8 seconds left. Looks like Carter is going to be okay. Now, we did not see Larry Carter start this football game. Came in after the 6-minute mark.
You can see right there going through a bunch of tests, just trying to see, what kind of stability. What they're doing there is just checking to make sure that there's nothing loose or out of socket or any of that kind of stuff. But you can tell that that's probably a stinger and, just a lot of initial pain there for a little while. And now he's doing his push-ups. Clap push-ups.
I think he's okay.
Yeah. Shoot.
I think he's going to be just fine. His older brother, Shaim Carter, who is in town with the Alabama Crimson Tide. And I did see Larry Carter sporting the Alabama towel during the warm-ups. So, and Kentwood has been an interesting point. That area of the state has become a real recruiting battleground. Ball on the ground. Picked up by Reginald Johnson, trying to stay on his feet as our first quarter has come to an end. Kentwood has a 7-0 lead over the Southern Lab Kittens in a battle of top 5 teams in Class 1A. The Kittens trying to win a district championship tonight. Kentwood has something to say about it. We'll be back after this on Game Time.
President Trump's new campaign slogan, promises made, promises kept. When appointed, Kyle Ardoin promised not to be a candidate for Secretary of State. Kyle immediately broke his promise. Like President Trump, Representative Rick Edmonds keeps his word. Endorsed by conservatives for his fight against voter fraud, vote buying, and illegal aliens voting. Voted no to all of Governor Edwards' tax increases. It's what Rick promised.
I'll fight to protect your ballot, just like I fought to protect your wallet.
Rick Edmonds, Secretary of State.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
Come enjoy a great location just minutes away from the hustle and bustle of the city at Suma Lake Apartments. Experience luxurious living with all appliances included, granite countertops, and walk-in closets. Relax in a peaceful environment by the pool or enjoy fishing in a 9-acre lake. Kids are sure to enjoy the playground and basketball court. Located in Livingston Parish in a great school district. Call today, 225-686-1111.
This week on YurView's high school football recruiting podcast, Over the Middle, October is when we see surprises emerge on the recruiting trail, and nobody's a bigger surprise than the Arkansas Razorbacks. Chad Morris has the Hogs ranked in the top 20 in every recruiting service. To discuss the Hogs' resurgence, Jeremy talks with Richard Davenport of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Jeremy also breaks down the latest with 5-star quarterback Spencer Rattler and previews some of the top matchups this week on YurView. Kittens down by 7, take over at their own 27-yard line after the kickoff, and they go to Ty Davis. And Davis, good open field tackle, as that was Bryce Cooper, 80 tackles on the season, a tackling machine. He is listed as the 34th best player in the class of 2020.
Well, and this is a heck of a tackle, because if Cooper doesn't make this open field tackle, one of the best running backs in the state, then Ty Davis is maybe taking that to the end zone.
And I should say Cooper is in the class of 2020. Got an offer from Tulane. Him and Anthony Holden, those are two really good linebackers for the Kangaroos. 2nd down and 8 as Miles will throw, and the receiver is going to be quickly wrapped up, and it's incomplete. Keandre Fultz was there to jar the football away, and it's going to be 3rd and long for the Kittens. Kentwood, the fans in orange and blue thought maybe that was a scoop and score there, as Darrell Asbury's offense struggling right now.
Yeah, but when you see here, I don't think he ever caught the football. I think it was never really in control by the wide receiver, and that's why they didn't call a fumble there. I think that is the right call.
I agree with that call.
But obviously Kentwood's fans excited about it. Anytime you see that football on the ground.
Southern Lab only has 1 first down in the football game. That happened on their opening drive of the night. Miles needs to make something happen here. He was 6 of 6 last week for 238 yards. He's going to try to run for the first down, but right there defensively was Bryce Cooper, and he's a few yards shy, and Southern Lab may have to punt the football away here.
Well, you can see here this pressure coming from Kentwood being applied, and Miles doesn't have a choice but to kind of escape the pocket, just unable to pick up the first down.
So out to punt here for Southern Lab, it's Tyler Guidry. With Darian Robbins, who has returned 2 punts for 98 yards this season, is back to return. So even without Trey Palmer, they got some guys back there that can make some things happen.
And I also think Southern Lab needs to figure out what they want to do offensively. I don't think they've figured it out this game. We've seen them trying to run it from multiple formations, but you know, if I'm Southern Lab, I think I'm going back to my bread and butter and try to get Ty Davis established.
To lay a game there, I think Southern Lab was hoping maybe Kentwood would jump off sides and that would give them a first down, but Kentwood was disciplined as Jonathan Foster, who played his college football over at ULM. He's been a Tangible Hope Parish lifelong resident. It's now 5 penalties on the Kittens now. Guidry's punt.
Good punt.
Yeah, he's got a big leg. From the 35, Robbins around the end. Robbins into Southern Lab territory, and it's flags all over the place after the late hit.
Yeah, we had all kinds of things happen on the sideline there. Robbins' helmet pops off, and then when he gets into that white chalk area, he takes a late shot from one of the Southern Lab cover guys.
Well, thank goodness here at Mumford Stadium it's now turf, Jason, so it's white paint,
it's
no
paint,
longer
no
chalk anymore.
You know, doesn't sound like football when you don't say chalk, no.
Yeah, we played in the day of high school football when they did use chalk. And they didn't even on grass fields. By the end of the game, you didn't know what was out of bounds and what was inbounds.
Right. Yeah, and if Southern Lab is guilty of this penalty here, Kentwood is going to have excellent field position.
Face mask against the kicking team. The result is going to be first down.
Well, I guess that's how the helmet popped off, and I didn't see that one, but it did look like maybe they were going to get him for a late hit. Nevertheless, another 15 yards, and we talked about Southern Lab being disciplined, and here's where they are not, and it's going to cost them again.
6 penalties now.
Let's see if we can see where the face mask.
Oh, geez. Yeah, there's a lot going on right there.
I mean, this thing is kind of unique here because he doesn't grab the front of the face mask. It looks like he's trying to tackle him from behind, and and the helmet just comes off as well.
Great field position for Kentwood, who's already up 7-0. TJ Hookfin in the shotgun formation. Larry Carter, the running back. Hookfin, intercepted. Big turnover for the Kittens. They needed that. Getting up there and grabbing it, Edmund Weber, his second interception of the year.
If you want to see textbook defensive back cover corner play, you need to watch this play here, because this is textbook. Watch him find his man, turn around, square his shoulders, and go up and high point the ball. You could barely see him there because he had such great cover on the receivers, but that is exactly how you do it. A taller wide receiver, you box him out and you go up and you high point the football. That is textbook defensive back play right there.
Momentum changes on that play right there. Gives the Kittens 1st and 10 at their own 20. Big time play, exactly what Southern Lab needed defensively. Let's see if it picks up the offense that has been stagnant ever since really the first couple of plays of the game.
Well, I think you got to keep feeding number 6, and you got Cardell Thomas, who hadn't been running behind him like I would expect that you would, but I think that's what you got to do. Letting Miles drop back and try to throw the ball to get this offense going, that's just not the nucleus of this team.
There's a flag in the secondary.
Delay game against the offense.
Oh boy.
5-yard penalty. Go first down.
We talked about it at the outset. Again, discipline here. I mean, the number of flags and infractions in the outset of this game against Southern Lab has really also been a key difference here.
7 penalties for 49 yards on Darrell Asbury's team. I mean, 7 penalties, that's a game's worth. We're barely into the second quarter here. So 1st and 15.
And see, this time down they're giving you the spread look. We've seen a lot of the I formation. This is spread, and that just, you can't throw that football right there. Reginald Johnson was blanketed the entire way, and if they're not careful, they turn the ball over again.
Again, Southern Lab without Jarvis Thornton. And I think they're missing him, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's just ill-advised. Brown almost, if that ball had been thrown a little bit lower, he might have stepped in front of that and picked it off. And
Miles off to a rough start throwing the football 0 for 4 after his 6 of 6 for 228-yard, 3-touchdown performance last week. And here's Davis. Hard runner up to the 22-yard line.
And see, I think that's what you got to do. Ty Davis is going to be one of these big physical SEC backs. And these guys, they're not the little scat backs. They need a lot of carries to get going and get in the rhythm of the game. So it's 3 or 4 here or 4 or 5 there, and then they start ripping off the 10 and the 12-yarders. But if you don't keep feeding him the football, he's never going to be able to establish that rhythm.
1,581 rushing yards on the season for Davis, eclipsing the number that he had last season, which was around 1,400 yards. They want to get the screen going here to Davis. Kentwood is all over it. Ball comes out, but they'll say he's down. But the Kittens offense goes 3 and out as Larry Carter was there for the Kangaroos.
I'll tell you what, Kentwood is fired up. I mean, it's their fans, their band. They're the ones who are jamming over there right now, and everything is going their way offensively and defensively. And not a fumble. He's clearly down there, so that's a good call. But they snuffed this play completely out. They knew they were going to try to get the ball to Ty Davis on the screen, and they'll be punting the football again.
Kendall Wilkerson, who has 8 sacks on the season, also there defensively for the Kangaroos. And Tyler Guidry back out to punt.
Remember, Robbins almost had a great return last time. This one will not be returnable.
And it's muffed. And then Robbins, who did call fair catch. And nice job by Southern Lab to hear the whistle and relent on the play. But great field position for the Kangaroos with 9:09 to go before halftime.
Yeah, they really flipped the field on Southern Lab, and that's been the difference. And when you can start your offensive possessions at your opponent's 35-yard line, that's just great field position to have your entire offense. You can open up the entire playbook right here.
16-yard punt. Kentwood has won 8 state championships. They were 13-2 last year, a 3 seed, and ended up losing to West St. John in a good game in the 1A title game, 20-14. Hookfin did not play football last year. Been a baseball guy, got him to play football, and he's been leading the offense. Carter in trouble, goes down, loses about 3 or 4. Chris Welch there defensively. Second out and long now for Kentwood. As there you look at Chris Welch. It seems like we've been watching him for 5 years now.
Yeah.
We do about 1 or 2 Southern Lab games a year, and that kid has always been making tackles.
That's what happens when you start playing in like 8th or 9th grade, you know?
6'4", 260. 44 tackles on the season. He now has 13 tackles for a loss after that one. Second down and about 12. Hookfin throwing one into coverage again. Another. Did he hang on to it? No.
That's
almost
Weber
another interception by Weber.
You got Weber again. Just, I mean, this guy, tell you what, you start talking about lockdown corners, and I mean, not only does he have his receiver covered well, but he adjusts to the football. He makes a better adjustment to the football than his own wide receiver. And tell you what, this guy's been impressive out here at the outset.
He's a sophomore, Jason.
Wow.
He's got time to grow up and become the next Greedy Williams. At 6'1", long arms.
Look greedy on both those plays. Must be all the wristbands, man.
That was a look that I saw tonight from both teams. I've seen a couple, mainly Southern Lab, but that must be the new thing.
Yeah.
Third down and 13. Hookfin on the quarterback draw. And he gets chased down. Great defensive play by Southern Lab's Reginald Johnson, playing both ways.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting call here. So you're at Southern Lab's 40, but will Kentwood try to force it down the field, or will they punt the football?
I think you play field position.
Yeah, and they've done a good job of that. And really, Southern Lab's offense hasn't shown you much yet. So if you can maybe get a decent punt off and back them up, you know, make Southern Lab's offense prove that they can move the football on you tonight.
So let's see what they do. They haul up on the sidelines to kind of hide what they may do, and then they quickly run out there.
Oh, bad snap.
Cooper's got to go chase it, the punter.
Wow.
And Southern Lab's going to have great field position at the Kentwood 30.
Special teams, special teams, special teams. How many times can it be that it changes the whole dynamic of a football game? We know now Kentwood had a chance to pin them back, and just a bad snap, and we talk about flipping the field position. Well, now Southern Lab is going to have the ball in great field position and an opportunity to really ignite this offense.
I tell you, the mistakes we've seen here tonight, Jason, you normally see in week 1 or week 2, not week 10.
And it's been all around the snaps. We've seen a couple bad snaps from the shotgun, and now a bad snap on special teams with the punter, and it's really changed the dynamic of this football game.
Southern Lab will have its first snap on the Kentwood side of the field defensively, and keeping it is Miles. Miles has got the first down, second first down of the game for Southern Lab, and he was first tackled by Jarrell Brown.
Well-designed play, and I think this is going to be here more for Southern Lab tonight. If they're keying in on your main running back, Ty Davis, then if you just read off of that and look at the weak side, it's probably going to be open there for Miles, and he took advantage of it.
First and 10 now at the 18-yard line. Ty Davis straight ahead. Carries a tackler close to the first down marker.
Well, I'll tell you, this is where I think Southern Lab needs to be. I mean, you know, getting number 3 the football. We saw him last series trying to feed him a little bit more. And, you know, you start getting him warmed up and maybe Miles kind of, you know, keeping some of those quarterback keepers off of that. I think that's what the type of boost this offense needs right now.
Tell you, when he gets behind his shoulder pads, he's a dangerous runner.
It's tough, and remember that U-High game, we saw 2 and 3 defenders.
Another bad snap. It must be that turf over there, Jason.
It's the same place, the 5-yard line. I mean, the teams get down to the 5-yard line, and then all of a sudden they forget how to snap the football. Yeah. Well, here again, we saw Kentwood roll a couple across the. Not grass, I won't use grass, Jeff, but the turf, and they call it the turf monster or something.
I don't know. Been a little sloppy on the snaps tonight. So third down, they give it to Davis. Davis has got the first down.
That's your guy. That's the guy you got to ride. I mean, this is the big game. This is for the district title, and you got probably the best running back in the state. You can tell him. He's saying the same thing. Feed me, coach. You haven't let me get going. Feed me. And I think the more and more they do that, you're going to see this Southern Lab offense come alive. Good opening, good hole up there, good blocking up front. That guy knows how to hit it.
So now from the 6, first and goal. Davis one more time.
Yeah, he's feeling
touchdown.
It. He's feeling it. I mean, that's what you got to do. Big Cardell Thomas, Ty Davis, those are the two guys, particularly since you're missing so much offensive production from Thornton tonight. Normally he can kind of provide the misdirection and some different type of running plays, but tonight you're just going to have to go back to your bread and butter, and that's going to be number 3 and big number 70. Look there, just opening up a hole, not a pancake, but good enough for number 3 to run through.
Well, Kentwood's coach, Jonathan Foster, said it well heading into the game. If you don't stop this guy before he gets going, you're not going to stop him.
Yeah.
And when they were able to contain him there in the first quarter, they were getting behind the line of scrimmage and hitting him before he would get going. And that drive there was no interference with him once he was running up to the line of scrimmage. They go for 2.
He's in.
And that's an easy 2-point conversion.
Yeah, he's starting to feel it. And look. And wow, how a special teams play changes the whole dynamic of the game.
Southern Lab takes an 8-7 lead over Kentwood. 5:51 before we go into halftime. Ty Davis gets the Kittens on the board.
Tonight's Game Time starting lineups are brought to you by ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
I'm Garrett Graves, and I approve this message. In Washington, those who like to yell and point fingers are usually the ones who can't get anything done. They mistake commotion for progress. There's a different approach, actually solving problems so I can be back home with the people we represent. So that's what I'm doing, solving real problems for real people, not playing the DC game.
Tonight's Game Time keys to the game are brought to you by Podna's Barbecue. Slow cook, fall off the bone perfection, and the best baked beans in America. For more Game Time high school football coverage, check out YurView.com.
Ty Davis getting into the end zone, his 19th rushing touchdown of the season. And then added the 2-point conversion, and the Kittens have a 1-point lead now over the Kangaroos.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jeff, after that high snap and Southern getting that great field position, there was no doubt in my mind what Coach Asbury was going to do with the football, and that was feed Ty Davis.
Robbins on the kickoff return. Robbins trying to stay on his feet as he gets all the way up to the 42-yard line. Yeah, he's dangerous. Let's go down to the field and Smacker Miles.
Anytime he's at a high school game, you know it's a good game. He's a Kentwood graduate, and Kentwood actually won a high school state championship his senior year. Tell me about how this team compares to that.
All right, we're going to try to fix Smacker's mic, and we'll get back to the interview there with Collis Temple.
Well, not only that, Collis looked like he had to change hats, make sure he had a Kentwood hat on for the interview there.
So we'll try to do it again after this play. From the 42-yard line, Carter's run is only a couple back down in the field at Smacker Miles.
Guys, I have Collis Temple here. He was a Kentwood graduate. They won a high school football state championship his senior year. Tell me about how this team compares to the team that you were on for that state championship.
Well, we had a lot of depth and a lot of size and a lot of bulk. had quite a few more players, but these guys are like scat backs. They're so quick. They're very athletic, and they have some great players with a lot of tremendous speed. We didn't have that kind of speed. We had size. We won on brute strength. These guys look like they're going to win on speed.
Following Kentwood all year, Collis has gotten to see Trey Palmer with his sprained ankle tonight, but he's gotten to see him healthy. How is Trey Palmer going to help that LSU team when he gets there? Trey has tremendous speed. He's got great ball skills. He can go defense or he can play offense. He's just a real special guy, and I think we're probably going to expect to see him on a Sunday. So he'll go to LSU for a few years and do some spectacular things. I think everybody will be really pleased with that. Thanks, Collis.
You're welcome.
Jeff?
Always good to see Collis Temple. We got another turnover here, the second one of the night offensively for Kentwood, and Darrell Asbury's team has the football back with 4:50 to go before halftime.
I still love to joke with Collis. The most important person I know from Kentwood is Britney Spears. He loves that. But here you go, the turnover. And yeah, that's questionable. But you know what? When the momentum begins to change, a lot of those calls start to go your way. There's a bad snap on the punt, and now Southern Lab with a key turnover there. But that was close. Looked like a knee may have been down.
Well, remember how this game changed. Kentwood, after the punt return and the 15-yard penalty, had the ball at the Southern Lab 20, and then the interception.
Start on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Thrown by Hookfin, and ever since then, it's been all downhill for Kentwood.
Yeah, and I mean, that's key to when you think about that interception by Weber and then again the bad snap on the punt. Those are two critical plays that have Southern Lab in this football game, but up to that point, Kentwood has just dominated the game.
8 penalties now for 54 yards. 1st and 10 at the 42.
Again, I wouldn't get cute here. I'd have to get that ball to number 3, see if we can keep him going. There
Davis running hard across the 50.
There it is. I mean, look, doesn't matter if the whole entire stadium knows where you're going with the football. If you can't stop it, you know, keep at it. I mean, it's working there, and he's definitely feeling it.
2nd down and 7. 9 carries for 79 yards for Ty Davis. 2 touchdowns in this game last year against Kentwood. A 1-point win for the Kangaroos over the Kittens a year ago. Davis, there you go. You got to get them in the backfield. And once you do that, like many running backs, it's hard for them to do anything. Cornelius Dyson, who's all over the field defensively, 61 tackles on the year, makes a stop there behind the line of scrimmage, his 5th tackle for a loss.
Well, and that's so important there by Dyson, keeping his containment on the outside. Running backs like Ty Davis love to get going north and south, and if you can get them turning their shoulders, going sideline to sideline, and you don't lose containment, so good job there by Davis, not getting too far upfield and waiting until Ty Davis came right back to you.
3rd down and 12 now for the Kittens. Miles, pressure coming, escapes 2 defenders, throws on the run, and it's incomplete. And Southern Lab will punt the football away.
That was a good job, but obviously Kentwood bringing the pressure, but good job by Miles stepping up in the pocket and really had located a receiver, kept his eyes down the field, but ball got deflected en route to the receiver. And we'll see right here. You can see right there, just stepping up in the pocket and buying some extra time, and had his guy had located, but good job. That's what you're taught by those defensive linemen. If you can't get to the quarterback, get those arms up in the air and you may get a deflection, and that stopped Southern Lab from picking up a first down.
Guidry out the punt again, and Rodarian Robbins, who's had some really good returns in this game, back to return it. Guidry's last punt was not very good. End over end here. Robbins got a chance to return it, and he's got a lot of green space in front of him. Back into Southern Lab territory as he's finally corralled at the 44-yard line. Top 5 matchup in 1A. Of course, with the select, non-select, these two teams will not face each other in the playoffs, but taking. So it's 1st and 10 at the 44. It's Southern Labs at 1, Kentwood's at 5 in the latest poll. So it's 1st and 10 at the 44. TJ Hookfin to Carter. Carter up to the 37-yard line.
A good play on first down. So now here's typically where Kentwood likes to go fast after they have good positive production. Like to try to get in and out of the huddle and kind of keep the defense on their heels a bit. Look for the quick hitch or the quick out screen.
And Hookfin on the run. Hookfin, wow, what a tackle out in the perimeter defensively for the Kittens, as that was Theodore Knox.
Well, this time they had success running the football with Carter, and this time Hookfin tries to pull it down, but I think he just didn't read off of Carter long enough. It didn't allow the linebackers to commit, and as he got to the outside, Southern Lab did a good job of containing him.
3rd down and 3.
3rd and long 3.
Third and 3 now. Carter off the right side. And he's got enough for a first down, despite the stick on the tackle there by Reginald Johnson.
Well, good inside run here by Carter, and you can see Kentwood actually going more to their running game. We saw them with a lot of kind of quick hitters and pass routes on the outside, on the edges, but as of late here, they've been riding number 5 there, Mr. Carter.
At the 33-yard line, they go back to Carter, and again, if you get back in the backfield and get some penetration, just like Tyler Guidry did there, you can shut that running game down. Guidry, Raging Cajun commitment, can really run. 50 tackles on the year, 8 sacks.
And looks like a defensive end. I mean, just tall, and look at the arms and the wingspan there. Just very rangy there. And, you know, that's how the defensive ends look these days. They're big, tall, and they can run.
Hookfin throws, and a nice catch with his hands. Ed McGee, who's committed to Southeastern Louisiana, very close to the first down.
Well, and here's a guy that needs to come alive a little bit in this Kentwood offense. We've seen a lot of Carter and some of the other skill players, but this is the receiver, Ed McGee. We featured him in the outset. He's the player for Kentwood that can really, really make the difference and stretch the field for them.
11 yards on the play, 26 catches on the season coming into the game for McGee with 6 touchdowns. Good track player, all-district football player from a season ago. Bad snap way over the head of Hookfin. Now let's see what Hookfin decides to do. Throws, ball batted in the air, wow. Intercepted.
Wow.
What a crazy play. Dakota Day comes down with it.
Wow, unbelievable. I mean, there's so many things that went right for Hookfin, and then obviously towards the end it went wrong, but a bad snap, able to recover the ball, not fall on it, but then when he picks it up, tries to identify a receiver and then throws the interception. But you can see here, another bad snap, and just fields it off the bounce, composes himself, but then throws an interception. I don't think he saw the defensive back there for Southern Lab, Dakota Day.
I was thinking when he let go of that ball, Jason, if it's incomplete, what a good result for Kentwood. Never would have thought it would have been picked off. Now Southern Lab on the attack, and almost another interception there as the pass was too high for Theodore Knox.
Yeah, and those are ones that Miles has to complete there because he had Theodore Knox wide open in the middle of that zone, and you just got to step in there and deliver that. You don't need to throw it 100 miles an hour when your wide receiver's that open. Just throw a deliverable football, and then you're picking up a first down.
Miles is now 1 for 7 on the night. passing and has yet the one completion he made went for 0 yards.
Look out.
Davis on the outside with a blocker. Davis to the 50. There is a flag down, so I think it's all coming back.
Yeah, he knows it. He knows it.
10-yard penalty. We're still going to replay second down.
Let's still give him the ball again. He can break one for 90 yards.
And man, maybe Knox out there that was holding on the edge. A lot of times when those running backs bounce it out, it becomes the pressure is, oh yeah, it was a takedown. It was a tackle. It wasn't a hold. It was a tackle. And Knox obviously has his arms up saying, hey, it wasn't me. I don't think it was you, big guy.
That takes away a 34-yard run for Ty Davis. A couple weeks ago against Ascension Catholic, Davis 168 yards and 3 touchdowns. Only lives about 4 minutes away from the LSU campus, as that's where he's heading once his Southern Lab career is over with, along with Cardell Thomas. So second down and a long way to go here. They got to get to the 31. Hang on to the ball here if you're Ty Davis.
Yeah, that ball may have come out.
Let's see when they mark this ball down. Does Kentwood call a timeout? If I'm Kentwood, I'm using a timeout here.
Let's see if this ball comes out right here. I think he lost it.
Oh, yeah, he did. How about that?
Oh, you got to, almost another turn. This, I tell you what, towards the end of this middle of this second quarter, this game's gotten real sloppy with the snaps and the penalties and the fumbling the ball. Both of these coaches are going to have to address these guys and tell them to settle down. We know it's for, could be a district title here, but got to settle down, play your game, and don't let this game get the best of you.
Jonathan Foster's team trying to recover from a loss last week to Ascension Catholic. Trey Palmer took a big hit in that game, went down early in the first quarter, and the Ascension Catholic Bulldogs won that contest 12-7. Big win for them, who could be Southern Lab, one of Southern Lab's main competitions on the Division IV side. Kentwood has turned it over 3 times in this first half. Let's take a look at some of the miscues they've had. Bad snap there as they were about ready to score. Really a bad handle on the snap. There's your bad snap on that same drive. Bad snap on the punt. Gave Southern Lab great field position. There's another bad snap. Telling you, I said it earlier in the game, and this is just absolutely crazy that results in a Kitten's turnover.
And there was actually another interception earlier completed by Webb.
Uh-oh, look out. Getting out and just throwing that away is Miles. Wow. And that could be a safety, and Kentwood may have the lead.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't understand this. First of all, if you're Southern Lab, you got to be happy that the score is just 8-7.
I think both of these teams are happy with it.
With all the miscues. But now you're deep in your own territory. 30 seconds left in the game. What are you doing trying to run a shotgun pass play out of your end zone? I'm thinking get the ball to number 3 if you pick up something great. If not, go into the end zone. I mean, go into halftime and regroup. But you're going to cost your team here 2 points.
Intentional grounding here. Result of the play is a safety.
I mean, why would you get cute backed up in your own end zone like that? You haven't had a lot of success throwing the football, and now you're going to try to shotgun a pass play out of your own end zone with 30 seconds left in the game. I mean, in the half. I just don't. I don't get this.
Man, they just wanted to run a screen. It was well covered, and Miles then just decided to get rid of the ball.
Well, the screen you want to run is turn around and hand the ball off to number 3. That's the screen you want to run. I mean, but this is just getting cute, and it's going to cost you.
If you're a fan of the NFL or college and you say, hey, he was outside of the tackle box. No, that's no such thing in high school football.
Well, and there was no receiver in the area. The person you saw in the area was actually an offensive lineman. It wasn't an eligible receiver.
Well, now Knox was there. Knox was the receiver that he was, I think, trying to get the ball to. But you're right. He didn't even give him an opportunity to throw it or to catch it.
Well, and look, this thing is, Kentwood's got 2 timeouts. We know how dangerous Robbins is as a return guy. So if you're Southern Lab, you know, you got to be careful here. And I think this is the right move to have them punt it. You can either kick it off or you can punt it. But Guidry obviously is a very talented punter and can get more hang time on it. So that'll give you an opportunity to get your coverage team down there. Well, now they're going to kick it.
Yeah, he's asking for the tee.
Wow. I would have him punt the football here. I mean,
yeah,
he gets
Nicholas Hudson is their regular kicker off the tee, but Guidry will.
See, there's no hang time there. I mean, he can field it and get upfield.
This is Shaquille Woolridge.
Well, that's plenty of time.
Woolridge all the way up to the 39-yard line or so, and with 23 seconds left, Kentwood, and we've seen Hookfin, he's got a good arm. He can wing it down there pretty quick. Southern Lab almost got the ball here, too. Look at this.
Yeah, wow. That's a clean strip. I mean, it didn't even hit the ground. He just took it away. But here, here's where Kentwood has to kind of manage the game. Look, you got 2 timeouts. You can probably run some of these quick out routes or hitters towards the sideline, and you're telling your receiver, hey, once you make the catch, get out of bounds, try to stop the clock. Plus, you got 2 timeouts to work with. So there's plenty of time for Kentwood to potentially get another score on the board. What you don't want is a high snap, a bad snap, or an interception.
Good snap. And we have a flag, though. I don't think Kentwood was set. I don't think they ever, after coming off the.
Good ball. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
After seeing that penalty and the bad snaps, I might just tell Hookfin, kneel it, and let's go to half. Let's go sort this out, because I mean, it could either be feast or famine here.
Some time, 2 seconds at least, came off the clock. This will be a very interesting interview that Smacker Miles was going to do with Jonathan Foster here in a few seconds. Well, I think they've taken your advice.
I mean, look, well, you don't know. I mean, I may get a good play, but it may turn out to be a high snap and then 6 points for Southern Lab. Both teams are just out of sync.
A bizarre first half, reminiscent of a game you might see on the first week of the season, not the last week of the regular season. But Kentwood, despite its 3 turnovers, go into the locker room up by 1.
Maybe they'll blame it on the cooler weather.
Macker. Hey, coach. Go.
I think they're trying to.
He's already been playing jokes on me.
All right, so let's go down to Smacker Miles and Jonathan Foster.
Guys, I have Coach Foster. He's in a pretty good mood, as you can tell. I'm surprised a little bit.
Why?
Your offense gives up 3 turnovers in the first half.
Why are you surprised?
3 offensive turnovers.
But anytime you have root pride in which the kids are showing, they coming out to fight this whole game. So I'm not surprised. You know, Trey, we've been rattling around, and we knew that he was going to be out this week, and the seniors then stepped up. And if we keep doing this, we're going to be okay. What you think?
You mentioned fight, and your defense comes up with that safety late in the second quarter. How important is that, and how much of a play did your defense make there?
Let me take you back. I look like a cornerback now, but I was a defensive end, so I pride myself on defense. Anytime that you might have some people out, and if they don't score, guess what? They don't win. If they don't get that punt over our head and they get a little momentum in a few plays, I think that, we doing well right now. So I'm pleased we're going to go ahead and make a few adjustments, and hopefully we can pull this game out.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
That's Coach Foster. He's a character. He's going to get his team pumped up at halftime. Jeff?
I told you that was going to be an interesting halftime interview.
Smacker just got interviewed.
I think that was the perfect way to cap off the first half. Halftime coming up from Mumford Stadium. We'll be back after this.
Game Time Halftime is brought to you by Podna's Barbecue. Slow cooked, fall off the bone perfection, and the best baked beans in America. Gary Lewis Property. From apartments, condominiums, and townhomes, Gary Lewis Properties is a top provider in Baton Rouge of residential and commercial property for rent. Monogram Express. We make ordinary gifts extraordinary. And by Louisiana Lift. And Louisiana Lift, we're always on call. Check out YurView.com for in-depth high school football coverage.
When I tore my ACL, I didn't think I'd ever be able to play soccer again. My doctor told me how important physical therapy would be, so I chose Peak. I'm glad I did. Now I'm stronger, faster, better than ever. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy. I'm Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin. For nearly a decade, my top priority has been protecting the integrity of Louisiana elections. When the Obama Justice Department sued Louisiana, I fought them and won. When radicals tried to get rid of voter ID, I fought them and won. If anyone interferes with Louisiana elections, from Soros to Putin, I'll fight them all and win. I'm Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin. I'm asking for your vote to continue fighting for you.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is, for a better life, and we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
Exercising is my life, so when I had to stop because of my foot and ankle pain, I was absolutely devastated. I chose Peak and they taught me how to relieve the pain. They really do bring out the athlete in everyone. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time League standings are brought to you by Crown Trophy. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
Yeah. Halftime from Mumford Stadium on the campus of Southern University, with Kentwood leading the Southern Lab Kittens 9-8 in a bizarre first half. Final regular season game of the year here on YurView. We'll have playoff action for you starting next week. First round playoff action. And one of our sponsors this season, and they've been a longtime sponsor of the Game of the Week, that's Farm Bureau. Let's learn more about one of their local agents.
I'm Trent Forrest, agent of Tangipahoa Parish Farm Bureau. Today we're at Chapelpila Sports Complex in Hammond, Louisiana. My son Connor is playing today in the 12U AA League. Farm Bureau puts family first, and that's kind of our motto, and we look to help other families that's in need, and anytime they need anything, we're there for them. Sports is part of growing up. It teaches our kids a lot of responsibility and leadership roles, and we feel essential to growing up to learn how to play sports and get along with others. We also go to sporting events such as the one we're at today, many church functions and PTA and school functions, and love to be a part of the community. Real service, real people. That means that we're going to provide something that's tangible, that you can actually come and see us, or we can come and see you, sit down and have a face-to-face, have your business and your personal belongings protected by friends and neighbors.
Great night for high school football here at Mumford Stadium, and a great sponsor there of the Game Time Game of the Week. 9-8 our score. Kentwood leading Southern Lab. We'll have more of the West Feliciana Parish halftime show when we come back.
Well, I've had back pain now and then, but it got so bad I couldn't even bend over. I didn't want to resort to pain pills, so I chose Peak, hoping they could relieve the pain. They got me active again. I even lost weight. I believe in better. I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
Come enjoy a great location just minutes away from the hustle and bustle of the city at Suma Lake Apartments. Experience luxurious living with all appliances included, granite countertops, and walk-in closets. Relax in a peaceful environment by the pool or enjoy fishing in a 9-acre lake. Kids are sure to enjoy the playground and basketball court. Located in Livingston Parish in a great school district. Call today, 225-686-1111.
I think that people want to be in West Feliciana because it's truly one of the unique parts of Louisiana. That if you live in West Feliciana, you can have it all. You can have a great lifestyle, a government that works for you and is open and transparent. You can have wonderful neighbors. You can have a great school. You can live in an environment that's free of fear from crime. We're less than 20 minutes from the Baton Rouge Airport, 30 minutes from the state capitol. What we have in West Feliciana is a place where you really can have it all.
I spent years suffering from knee pain, so I decided to have replacement surgery. My doctor did a great job, and he allowed me to choose Peak for my PT. I should have done this a long time ago. I'm so glad I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time Player of the Game is brought to you by ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
Senior night here at Southern Lab. Final regular season game of the year for both of these teams, Southern Lab and Kentwood. The Kangaroos leading the Kittens 9-8. It's now time to find out who are scholars and teachers of the week. Right now we have a scholar of the week.
This is Ronnie from Southern Lab. She's a senior. She's part of Louisiana Leadership. Tell us about that program.
Okay, so Louisiana Leadership is a program where young students, they all get influenced by Senator Cleo Fields, retired Senator Cleo Fields. And so what he does is he talks to the students and he makes sure that he puts them on the right path towards success. And he motivates them every Saturday morning from 10 to 12 o'clock every Saturday.
Ronnie has a 3.9 GPA. She's headed to Tulane after graduation. Tell us about your college plans at Tulane.
Okay, so at Tulane, I plan on majoring in psychology and theater. So I plan on getting 2 degrees and going all the way to my PhD. So I just hope that I enjoy it there, and I hope that I get to go visit. And so, yeah, I'm actually on a scholarship as well. So full ride for me.
Go, girl. We have a full ride Tulane future graduate. This is awesome. Congratulations on being our YurView Student of the Week.
Thank you.
Jeff?
Thanks a lot, Smacker. 9-8 is our score. Congratulations to Ronnie Henderson. Sounds like she's going to have a great professional career once she gets through with college. We'll be back after this.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is for a better life, and we mean that. For you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
When I get back to Baton Rouge, I get in my Blues Mobile and I drive right on down to Partner's Barbecue. And you know what I do? I get me some ribs, all 10 to 2. Some baked beans, some potato salad, some smoked sausage. You got to come on down to Partner's Barbecue, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Come enjoy a great location just minutes away from the hustle and bustle of the city at Suma Lake Apartments. Experience luxurious living with all appliances included, granite countertops, and walk-in closets. Relax in a peaceful environment by the pool or enjoy fishing in a 9-acre lake. Kids are sure to enjoy the playground and basketball court. Located in Livingston Parish in a great school district. Call today, 225-686-1111.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
Back at Mumford Stadium on a chilly night in Baton Rouge on the campus of Southern University. And our score is Kentwood 9, Southern Lab 8. very interesting first half. Kentwood somehow has the lead. As welcome to our broadcast booth, Jeff Palermo along with Jason DeQuire. Kentwood somehow has the lead despite 3 turnovers, and they also had a drive that went inside the 5-yard line, and they didn't score any points. But yet, after 24 minutes, Kangaroos leading Southern Lab.
Yeah, 9-8. I promise you we're not playing baseball. It is a football game, but I tell you what, it has been a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
Neither of these two teams can find their rhythm, and when they do, it's a botched snap or a fumble or an interception. And I think what both of these coaches need to be talking to their teams about right now is just settling down, get back to playing their brand of football, and don't let the excitement of this game get the best of you.
So far, that is what has happened to these two teams, but it has provided some very interesting first half highlights. So let's take a look at them. As we go back into this game, there's your first turnover of the night. Southern Lab committing it. That would result in this touchdown run by Larry Carter. But then things really got weird for Kentwood. Kentwood's about ready to take a 14-0 lead, but a big interception there. And then Ty Davis, the LSU commitment, gets rolling. Touchdown there, and a 2-point conversion gave Southern Lab the lead. There's another turnover, the second of the night for the Kangaroos, and then a bad snap. Then watch this. Hookfin picks it up. They try to make something out of it, and then it's intercepted by Dakota Day. And then here's a strange play near the end of the first half. Traven Miles throws the ball on the ground. That's intentional grounding. That gives Kentwood 2 points, and that's why they have a 9-8 lead. The Kittens, 76 yards of total offense. That is all Ty Davis. They really miss Jarvis Thornton tonight, and Kentwood really misses Trey Palmer. When you don't have 2 of your better players out on the field, sometimes it can result in both teams just not clicking on all cylinders, and I think that's what we saw in the first half.
Yeah, and you see Southern Lab there with 0 passing yards. That is something as much of a beast as Ty Davis is. They're going to have to establish at least a little something or be somewhat of a threat through the air in the second half.
Yeah, just 3 first downs for the Kittens. So we'll find out what happens in the second half. We'll take one more break from Mumford Stadium, and then it'll be the second half kickoff. This is Game Time on YurView.
This throbbing neck pain was so bad it moved to my shoulders and was causing severe headaches. Then a friend suggested I choose Peak. 2 weeks later, the pain was completely gone. So glad I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is for a better life, and we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
I think that people want to be in West Feliciana because it's truly one of the unique parts of Louisiana. That if you live in West Feliciana, you can have it all. You can have a great lifestyle, a government that works for you and is open and transparent. You can have wonderful neighbors. You can have a great school. You can live in an environment that's free of fear from crime. We're less than 20 minutes from the Baton Rouge Airport, 30 minutes from the state capitol. What we have in West Feliciana is a place where you really can have it all.
Do you need to say great job, congratulations, or way to go? Crown Trophy on Sherwood Forest Boulevard in Baton Rouge has the trophy, plaque, acrylic, or crystal award you're looking for. Whether it's for your team, business, or church, come to Crown Trophy. We guarantee the highest level of customer service, and there's no charge for rush orders or trophy engraving. We're nationally known and locally owned. Visit us online to view our catalog at www.crowntrophy.com.
My shoulder pain got so bad I couldn't lift anything overhead. So I chose Peak Performance, and I can't believe how much better I am now. Peak really does get you back into the game of life. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time Play of the Game is brought to you by Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Ready to serve you with auto insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance, and more. Real service, real people.
Set to begin the third quarter from Mumford Stadium on the campus of Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Both teams still warming up here for another minute or so as you take a look at the Kittens. Southern Lab, only loss on the season was to University High back in week 2, and since then they have been cruising, learned a lot from that tough defeat to the Cubs, 42-14 that night. And Coach Darryl Asbury really thought that that game brought his team closer together after a lot of mistakes were made. And then they came back the next week and beat another rival, and that was Scotlandville, 20-6. So anytime a 1A school can go up and beat a 5A school, and they did that game with Ty Davis only rushing for 48 yards. And then they were on their way. They beat Broadmoor, another 5A school, and then they beat Parkview Baptist. St. John of Plaquemine won by 3 over Ascension Catholic, as Ty Davis had 168 yards and 3 touchdowns. Speaking of Southern Lab, let's go down to Smacker Miles, who had a chance to talk to Darryl Asbury.
Guys, Coach Asbury's message to his team at half was very technical. He says they want to improve on those screen passes offensively and really establish the run game in the second half. Defensively, they want to keep the containment on the edges and keep pressure on Kentwood quarterback Hookfin. That's a key, obviously, coming off those 3 turnovers that they got in the first half. He reiterated that this is a one-possession game, and they are in it and ready to stay in the second half.
Darryl Asbury, former head coach at Texas Southern University and Shaw University, a graduate of Jackson State, and played high school football here at Southern Lab. Here is the 1A poll that we tried to show you earlier. Southern Lab ranked number 1. Lafayette Christian, who beat Vermilion Catholic. Kind of interesting that Vermilion Catholic is not in the top 10 there, even though they suffered that loss. And then Haynesville is at 9-0. Oak Grove. When we show you the ratings later on, Oak Grove, Haynesville, Kentwood, those are your 3 teams that are up there at the top. And those 3 will be your favorites, but you can't count out West St. John. West St. John is 6-2, but they always play a tough schedule. They're always playing St. James or Lutcher or one of those teams. They're a team that's not afraid to play up. And so they always face some really good competition. And then on the select side, you got Ascension Catholic right there. Catholic Point Capee is having an outstanding season. They're playing for a district title tonight. And Logansport has always been a strong team. I think 2 years ago they played Haynesville in the state championship game, if I recall correctly. And Lafayette Christian, they are one of the top teams in the area always, in whether it's football, basketball, or baseball. It's Jonathan Foster trying to lead Kentwood to their 9th state championship. Kentwood was a 3 seed last year. Southern Lab will get the ball first, down by 1. Cornelius Dyson has it teed up. End over end kick, but we have a whistle. Paul Berry was very busy in the first half.
I think they're trying to figure out what's going on here. I don't see a flag down there.
Full start on a kicking team. It's a 5-yard penalty. Re-kick.
Starting this half just like we ended the last one.
Southern Lab was guilty of, was it 10 penalties? Is that the number that they had?
7. I think I got it right here.
Oh.
Tommy did a good job for us.
Tommy Cooper, our statistician, it was 10 penalties.
10 for 73.
Yeah. All right, this will be returned from the 28-yard line. And it's up to about the 45, so good field position. But that really has not mattered at all in this game where you're starting drives. I mean, Kentwood's had a bunch of drives that have started in Southern Lab territory, and they only have 1 touchdown to show for it.
Well, and to put the penalties in perspective, as you mentioned, they had 73 yards worth of penalties, and they had 76 yards of offense.
1st and 10 at the 46. They got to get their quarterback going here. Been a really tough night for Trey Miles. A guy that coming into this game, Darryl Asbury really thought had gained the trust of the teammates. He's become a better at understanding coverages, not forcing passes, but that was a tough first half for the senior QB. Davis runs the ball for a couple.
But again here, they're bringing the safety to the Jerry Brown to the line of scrimmage there and blitzing him from the outside to try to slow Ty Davis or catch him from the back so that he doesn't get a head of steam going.
Davis 66 yards rushing in the first half. Again, Southern Lab only had 76, so he was most of their offense. 2nd down and 7. Miles will throw. Quick pass, try to get him going. And that's complete, and that's going to be a first down. Finally get the ball into the hands of Reginald Johnson, who's got great hands, can stretch the defense, a good football IQ. He's a 4-star commitment, and he just picked up a first down for the Kittens.
Well, and this is how you get your quarterback some confidence, particularly if you can get Reginald Johnson out there with a lot of space and wasn't playing bump and run coverage. The defensive back was off, gives him room to operate, able to step in that ball and complete it.
At the 39-yard line, and Davis flags fly. We'll see what that's about. That might be another face mask penalty against Kentwood. 3 different flags came flying where the tackle occurred.
Personal foul, face mask against the defense. The result of that will be a first down.
To the 20-yard line, the ball will be placed.
Yeah, you see there, just come behind. Well, that one's kind of vicious and dangerous when you're ripping from behind, and he doesn't let it go. You talk about some flexibility in Ty Davis's neck. That was really dangerous. That's probably why we saw 4 or 5 flags fly.
I would say, Jason, we're not keeping count on it. 90% of their runs go right behind number 70, Cardell Thomas. Though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's the offense.
Legal procedure going to be called here.
False start.
Wow.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, the Kittens are going to go into the Division IV playoffs as one of the favorites, but playing like they've played so far in this game, they're not going to win a state title with all the penalties they've had. And obviously the talent's there. It's just been a frustrating night here for Darryl Asbury to get his team to focus in on the job at hand. 1st down and 15 now from the 25. There you go, right behind Thomas, who cleared a nice seam. And Davis is into the end zone, touchdown.
Again, I mean, this is the DNA of this Southern Lab offense, particularly, again, with Thornton out. So, I mean, this is where your bread and butter. You keep feeding Ty Davis. He becomes more powerful as the night gets going, and it's going to be harder for them to bring him down as he wears on this defense. And you mentioned it. Do they run off at number 70 a lot? Yes, of course they do. And he's just opening up the holes there. And that guy's such a talented runner and powerful runner and able to put his team back up here.
Let's see what Southern Lab decides to do. I think they're going to go for 2. They went for 2 last time. As Miles will bring the troops up to the line of scrimmage. Interesting, now you got Thomas lined up on the left side, and they run the play action that way. Miles nowhere to run, and he's going to go down. Britton Kazaruni on the tackle, but not before Ty Davis gets into the end zone for the 2nd time in this game. And Southern Lab has a lead again. 14-9 is our score. We'll be back after this.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is, for a better life. And we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
Southern Lab leading Kentwood in this rivalry contest. 14-9 is the score. Well, this is far from over as the Kittens take the opening drive of the second half. They march down the field and retake their lead. Big hit over the middle of the field. That was quite a lick there by Landon Hunt for the Kittens. Knocking the returner down to the ground, Edward McGee. And there's a look at your ITI Technical College scoring drive. Ty Davis into the end zone for a second time tonight. He is now at 98 yards rushing on 14 carries.
Yeah, and we saw towards the end of the second quarter, probably the midway point, that they really decided and committed that, hey, this is the guy that's going to have to carry us through this game. And that's really when he began to pick up some of his yardage.
Running the football here is Larry Carter, and Tyler Guidry gobbles him up. Loss of 2.
Tyler Guidry's been active all night, coming off that defensive end position. This time busting through and able to get Larry Carter before he can get his momentum going. Watch him lined up here off that right end, just shedding some tacklers, and that's just it's a big-time play. That's why he's going to be playing college football next year.
To the University of Louisiana, 4-star rating for Tyler Guidry. 3 stars in some other recruiting services. 2nd and 13. All day to throw for Hookfin. No one open, so he'll run it. And he gets up to the 37-yard line. Sets up about 3rd down and 4. Hookfin, 153 yards rushing, has a run for 69 this season.
Well, I think this is what they're going to have to do. Again, they're going to have to look at getting the ball to their playmakers, these little scat backs and whatnot, and just kind of flicking it out there on the edges. And if it's not there, then Hookfin can then go pick up some yardage with his legs.
Here's where you would love to have Trey Palmer on the field for this 3rd and 4. Hookfin again, all day to throw as Southern Lab rushes only 3. Hookfin now trying to get the first down, and he won't get it. Great pursuit and brought down by Chris Welch.
Well, this is also good disciplined defense by Southern Lab in understanding the down and distance and making sure that you contain Hookfin. They don't leave their zones, and so when Hookfin begins to pull it down, they understand what they're saying. Watch when he reverses field, got the linebackers there waiting for him, and that's what you have to do. You don't over pursue. You understand that you have to keep sort of a bubble around Hookfin such that when he pulls it down, if he comes to your area, then he's your guy at that point.
Reginald Johnson ready to return it for Southern Lab. The punt takes a Kentwood bounce, and there's Johnson from the 26. They call him the human jukebox, and he goes down at the 33. As he's got some moves, does Reginald Johnson.
We'll take over 1st and 10 at the wrong 33.
And it's now 1st and 10 at the 36 for Southern Lab. As you look at Cardell Thomas, takes up the whole screen there, number 70. And then that is a big boy wearing the LSU gloves.
Yeah. Wish he was playing tomorrow.
They could use him tomorrow. Let's go down to the field and Smacker Miles.
Guys, there are 2 players that have been selected for the Army All-American game, both from Southern Lab. On this offense you're seeing, that's Cardell Thomas. He's an offensive guard, the #1 offensive guard prospect in the entire country. And it's also Ty Davis, their running back. He's number 8 at the running back position in the entire country. Coach Asbury says these guys are team players. They did not want to accept the honor without their entire team being there. So they had a team celebration. The guys got trophies and they took team pictures with their jerseys. That game will be December 5th in San Antonio, so be sure to cheer for those hometown guys in that national game. Jeff?
Thank you, Smacker. And those two are very close friends, too. Darryl Asbury will tell you, if you see Cardell Thomas, and you'll see him pretty quickly, you'll recognize him pretty quickly. Ty Davis will be right there next to him. These guys are lifelong friends, been playing football together for a while. Cardell Thomas, more of your jokester, where it's all business, is Ty Davis. Very attentive when he's at practice. That pass almost intercepted.
And such a great honor to be selected in that game, and not just be selected, but have your teammate and two of you selected as well. But I tell you what, Jeff, the most exciting thing about that last interview was I'm just glad to see Smacker got her mic back, you know. So
even the student of the week tried to take it from her. There must be some money in that microphone or something. Made out of gold tonight. 3rd and long here for the Kittens. Well, this is if you're Southern Lab, you don't want to do anything too crazy here. You got the momentum in your favor. Just give the ball to Davis, right? And
that's right. Yeah,
if he doesn't get 23 yards, you punt it away. And we might have a timeout.
Yeah, I think they're going to talk it over here.
Kittens will call the timeout.
The last time they were backed up and deep in their own territory and tried to do a little too much and ended up with the safety. So you can see Asbury over there just making sure everybody understands the situation. You're up by 1 score, but look, Kentwood is able to get a big turnover, get in the end zone, then they go right back up in this football game. So got to be somewhat conservative here and worry about protecting the football.
Kentwood has been really good on their returns. Rodarian Robbins has been electrifying back there. He's returned several into Southern Lab territory. There's Trey Miles. Southern Lab will snap it here from their own 20. They need to get to the 43-yard line. They give it to Davis. And again, Kentwood in the backfield really quick. And another carry for a loss of yards. Kendall Wilkerson, who Coach Jonathan Foster tells me this kid can do backflips. So you know he's an athletic guy, and there he brings down Davis for a loss of 2.
Well, this time they were just shooting the gaps. They realized what Southern Lab was going to do, kind of keep it conservative and likely put the ball in number 3's hands, and they sold out and paid off for him. And now, again, an opportunity to get great field position. And Kentwood, most of their drives started with great field position last half.
Guidry will try to kick this as far as possible, and it goes straight up in the air. It has a little carry, fair catch signal, and it's muffed.
Wow.
And Kentwood finally falls on it at the 45-yard line. It's been an adventure tonight. Edward McGee got on it. Let's take a look at the Class 1A power rankings. Kentwood came into this game at number 3. The Oak Grove Tigers from Northeast Louisiana, 9-0 on the season. Haynesville, they're always in the top 5. There's Logansport at 4. Again, West St. John at 5. Keep an eye on them. They're the defending champs in 1A. And even East Iberville up there at number 10. East Iberville's probably played a tough schedule. But really the first 5 teams there, those are your contenders in the class for the Class 1A championship. Carter's got a little bit of a seam, and he gets about 4 or 5 on that carry. Actually not carrying, that wasn't Carter, that was Jeriel Brown, number 2, the junior running back. He only has 66 yards rushing. Jonathan Foster told us it would be running back by committee in that backfield. We've seen mostly Larry Carter, though. But this is more of a passing team with the arm of Hookfin. And again, you're not really seeing what Kentwood's offense can really do because LSU commitment Trey Palmer is not playing tonight. Brown gets another carry. Got to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard or 2, and that's it. Sherman Ruth and the rest of the Kittens there to bring him down. And a big 3rd down here, 3rd and 3.
And the reason I think you're seeing Kentwood run the football more too is Southern Lab seems to be committed at taking away these little quick passes out on the edges. And So there's been a couple of those that have almost been picked off tonight. He's thrown 2 interceptions, so now they're resorting more to the running game.
3 for 7 on third downs. The Kangaroos, and not able to hang on to it was McGee. Made a nice catch earlier on a similar pass play, but that time the ball was knocked out of his hands, and the Kittens defense may have forced a 3 and out.
Well, when you need a first, you expect him to go to your best receiver on the team, and this time Hookfin threads one in there to McGee, and that's just one that you have to catch first. I know he was thinking about yards after the catch, but the most important thing on that play is picking up the first down before your eyes get down the field and trying to take off with it.
Reginald Johnson knocking that one away, so Jonathan Foster elects to punt the football with his team down by 5 halfway through this third quarter. Good snap. That's always been a question mark in this game. And LeBrandon Cooper's punt is going to get pinned all the way back to the 1 yard line. How about that?
That's the inch line.
Oh man, what a punt. 48 yards.
Wow. You talk about, again, flipping the field. Check this thing out. I mean, they let this ball roll down. I mean, that's not the 1 yard line. This is going to be just before it hits the plane of the goal line. That is pinned back as deep as you can pin somebody back.
Injured Kentwood player, and that would be Britton Cazzaruni. Well, this week on YurView's high school football recruiting podcast, Over the Middle, November is when we see surprises emerge on the recruiting trail, and nobody's a bigger surprise than the Arkansas Razorbacks. Chad Morris has the Hogs ranked in the top 20 in every recruiting service. To discuss the Hogs' resurgence, Jeremy talks with Richard Davenport of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Jeremy also breaks down the latest with 5-star quarterback Spencer Rattler and previews some of the top matchups this week on YurView. All that and more on this week's episode of Over the Middle podcast. You can check it out at YurView.com. Excited for that LSU-Arkansas game next week, Jason?
No.
Probably didn't even know they were playing Arkansas next week. It's a little exhibition game that will take place tomorrow night inside Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, I actually had a couple buddies of mine saying they're going out there. Go and check it out.
Right now? Or
tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, you and them and 125,000 other people that will be on campus tomorrow. Should be a fun game. Southern Lab backed up on their own goal line here. Oh, man. Well, all that work to get the ball pinned inside the one, and you give them 5 free yards.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of negates what you're able to do with the coverage there and pinning them back and kind of letting them out of jail free there.
And you've had a lot of tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Could have had another safety. That would probably fit this game perfectly if we had 2 safeties in this game.
Yeah.
There's a game to have it. This would be it. All right, there's a good run by Davis. Ty Davis, could he go? One guy to beat, and he'll be wrestled down by Radarian Robbins. But that's how explosive the Southern Lab offense could be. Tyrion Davis, 36 yards.
Well, that should put him over the 100-yard mark. And, again, just right there off the left side of that offensive line. And when he gets out there, the quick, stiff arm, and tell you what, he chews up a lot of yardage in a hurry.
So now plenty of room to operate for Southern Lab. 120 yards rushing for the LSU 4-star commitment. They're going to throw. Miles under pressure. Got away from one defender. And then he goes down a yard behind the line of scrimmage. Tackled on the play by Bryce Cooper, who's been in on a lot of stops for the Kangaroos, who like to show multiple fronts on that defense.
Miles, stop for a loss.
They may give the ball back to number 3 here.
It's always a good plan.
I could see why you don't give it to him on that last play after he just ran about 40 yards. Davis has it. And he loses it, but the ball came right back up to him.
That's a couple times tonight that he's put the ball on the turf. Got to be careful. Ball control, always a big thing.
He's kind of hanging it down too low there.
Yeah, and I tell you what, you talk about going to LSU next year, that is the first thing that they're going to work on, because you just can't have that happen.
Got to get that ball up closer to your shoulder, or that will happen. So third down, does Kentwood's defense got to stop in them here with just over 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Three wide receiver look. And the Kittens will use another timeout. That's the second of the second half.
Timeout. Southern Lab. There's a second charge timeout.
So Darrell Asbury gathers them up. Coming up on Sunday is when the pairings will be released. And if you check out Southern Lab, or excuse me, if you check out CST at 11 a.m., myself, Lee Brakeem, and Alan Waddell from WWL Radio. Lee Brakeem, of course, the publisher of Louisiana Football Magazine. We will break down the pairings in all 9 brackets. So that'll be at 11 a.m. And check it out on CST. Also, the NFHS Network will be carrying it. So looking forward to doing that on Sunday morning. What a big football weekend in this state, Jason.
Oh, wow. I mean, you talk about this matchup here tonight, and LSU, Alabama, a little scrimmage game tomorrow, and then my Saints on Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, the Rams will not be undefeated after Sunday, Jeff.
There you go. There you go. I feel pretty good about that prediction, too. 3rd and 7,
wow,
a bad snap. His knee was on the ground.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. When that snap goes down, and that's again, that's just what happens from a bad snap, and you leave your quarterback with no choice but to go down to the ground and try to field it, and knee touches. Here you go. Just trouble on both sides with the snap. Plays dead right there. You see, take another look at it. Just a low snap down and left, and plays dead. Man, I think at halftime they should have taken the snappers and just had some practice over there on the sidelines.
So Kentwood will get the football back here. Tavian Brown and Edward McGee back to return, and a high punt by Guidry. And it goes out of bounds, and the Kangaroos will once again start a drive. Well, actually, it'll drift over on the other side of the 50, but same difference. They got a drive starting at their own 49 after the 12-yard punt by Guidry.
Well, I didn't even think it went that far.
But, hey, don't say Tommy Cooper miscounted that.
No, that's not. I know Tommy's on his stuff, but just the way that it went straight up and down, you know. Well, the fact that he got 12 yards out of that, it was more than I was expecting.
I would imagine, considering Southern Lab is averaging 37 points a game, Tyler Guidry's not used to punting about 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, that's right.
So TJ Hookfin, can he get something going here? Just one offensive drive that has resulted in a touchdown. And remember, that drive started deep in the Southern Lab territory. 7 of their last 9 possessions have started in Kittens territory. They run the football here. Big hit at the line of scrimmage.
My goodness. Tell you what, they're starting to bring the heat now, buddy.
Sherman Ruth. He's a good ball player. He had a good game against U High when we did that game in week 2. Half a yard on the game.
Let's see it.
Jerry O'Brown, the ball carrier.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, wow.
It makes me feel, I think Smacker's dad had one of my more memorable comments that he ever made was, "I want to feel the sincerity of your contact." That was one of the best sayings I've ever heard.
Hookfin under pressure, and he goes down. Getting to him for the Kittens was Antonio Patterson. And they say, get back out there, boy. You got 3rd down coming up here.
Yeah, here you go.
Triple team there on Patterson.
Able to fight through it and then just do that little spin, swim move and chase down the quarterback from behind.
18 rushes for just 12 yards. The last 18 rushes for Kentwood, their run game has just gone away from them. They've only gotten 12 yards off those 18 carries. Hookfin's going to have to run it here. Hookfin showing a little speed, but he's going to be brought down by a couple of kittens at the 47-yard line, as Southern Lab's defense has played phenomenal tonight. Jabbar Triplett, a kid that has been all over the field. Another kid with a high football IQ, doesn't make a lot of mistakes. As you'll watch number 9 chase down Hookfin.
And again, it's just a good job by the linebackers staying in their lanes and understanding that, hey, instead of chasing all over the field, that the quarterback may reverse fields and come back to you, and they've done it. I mean, Hookfin is a talented runner, and they've done a good job of just containing him when he gets outside of the pocket.
Look at that, 6'2", 190 pounds for Triplett. Southern Labs had some good linebackers. Damone Clark, who's a true freshman over at LSU. Remember Chris Allen, who ended up going to Alabama. And Jabbar Triplett might be that next great linebacker that comes from this high school. And Darrell Asbury said that Jabbar Triplett really benefited from playing next to Damone Clark last season. Came into this game with 71 tackles, 6 sacks, 3 interceptions, and 2 of those interceptions he took back for a touchdown. And a couple weeks ago, he blocked a punt and recovered a fumble. So kids all over the field. Playmaker for that Southern Lab defense.
Yeah, and you can see that he got the size too, got the height and rangy, and can really run. I mean, those are all features that you're looking for in exceptional linebackers and those that are going to play at a high level.
Yeah, Darrell Asbury said he really stepped up his game going back to the summer. Didn't even miss a workout. And it's shown here. He's had a really good season for Southern Lab.
6'2", 190 again.
Yeah.
Terrific size, and when that body starts to fill out in that frame, he's going to be one heck of a backer.
The injured kitten player able to get off the field and walk off towards the sidelines on his own power. That's Theodore Knox. 4th down, Kentwood got a minute 47 here, Jason. Are you thinking about going for it?
Well, we'll see here. It looks like they're going to put the punter out on the field. And I think, again, the way this game has gone and all the mismanaged snaps and everything else, I think it's the right decision as long as we don't have a bad snap here.
Cooper had a great punt last time, pinned him inside the 1. He's going to try it again. This time it's fielded at the 17 by Reginald Johnson. And Johnson brings it all the way up to the 40. Well, not enough air on that one, and it was right in the direction where Johnson can get it. And the Kittens will start this drive at their own 40, under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 32-yard punt, 23-yard return, and now we have a Kentwood player that is slow to get up.
It's been a physical contest here, and
Johnson is limping a little bit.
And he was the one who just returned the football. And
most of our injuries too tonight have been cramps, and we got another one. And we say this every time at this time of the year. Kids don't realize that just because it's 60 degrees out,
still got to drink water. Got to get fluid in there.
You can still cramp up. Only one scoring play in this 3rd quarter, the touchdown run by Ty Davis. Kentwood led it 9-8 at halftime.
Well, you see Coach Asbury over there in the Southern Lab huddle, and what he's telling his guys is, look, this series, the way this game is going, this may be the most important series of the night. If we can, get this run game going, if we can focus and concentrate right here offensively, we have a chance to go up by 2 scores, and that'd be a big deal in this football game. And if you're Kentwood, you got to be thinking number 3, and let me locate number 70 on that offensive line, Cardell Thomas. And you would think that combination of Thomas and Ty Davis is where Coach Asbury is going to go to try to put this game out of reach a little bit.
From the 39-yard line, the Kittens start here. And there is Ty Davis. Wow, what a great move there. Into the Kentwood secondary, all the way up to the 25-yard line. Just a couple of jukes. 36 yards later, he's brought down.
Yeah, again, this is Ty Davis. You can see the Ty Davis signs up there, but just a move in the hole right here. Boom. Unbelievable move right there. And just froze the defender and that creates that little crease that Ty Davis is able to use that speed and exploit that crease and get to the outside and off and running.
Yeah, Edward McGee was caught flat-footed after that juke move. And now the football's at the 25. Low snap, but they get it to Davis anyways. And Davis, 5 yards. Larry Carter in on the stop.
5 yards on first down. And look, if I'm Southern Lab, I know they like to be a little slower, a little bit more methodical. But right now, you've got Kentwood kind of reeling here a little bit on their heels. And, you can see Ty Davis breathing a little hard there. But I think, hey, this is your time, big boy. This is your stage.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. 2nd down and 4. Davis again. Stopped shy of the first down by a yard and a half, and that will be the last play of the third quarter. Is number 3. He dominated that third quarter, the only touchdown of the third quarter, and one more quarter left in this regular season. Southern Lab trying to hold on and win a district championship. They're 12 minutes away from that feat. We'll find out if they can do it when we come back. This is Game Time on YurView.
When I tore my ACL, I didn't think I'd ever be able to play soccer again. My doctor told me how important physical therapy would be, so I chose Peak. I'm glad I did. Now I'm stronger, faster, better than ever. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
When I get back to Baton Rouge, I get in my blues mobile and I drive right on down to Partner's Barbecue. And you know what I do? I get me some ribs, all tender too. Some baked beans, some potato salad, some smoked sausage. You got to come on down to Partner's Barbecue, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
President Trump's new campaign slogan, promises made, promises kept. When appointed, Kyle Ardoin promised not to be a candidate for Secretary of State. Kyle immediately broke his promise. Like President Trump, Representative Rick Edmonds keeps his word. Endorsed by conservatives for his fight against voter fraud, vote buying, and illegal aliens voting. Voted no to all of Governor Edwards' tax increases. It's what Rick promised.
I'll fight to protect your ballot, just like I fought to protect your wallet.
Rick Edmonds, Secretary of State.
Exercising is my life, so when I had to stop because of my foot and ankle pain, I was absolutely devastated. I chose Peak and they taught me how to relieve the pain. They really do bring out the athlete in everyone. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Kentwood Kangaroos down by 5 as we begin the fourth quarter. 3rd down and 1. It was a third quarter dominated by Ty Davis, who had 106 yards rushing in the third. Bad snap, and that will bring up 4th down.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, just the most inopportune times to have a bad snap. You need 1 yard. You got Cardell Thomas and Ty Davis behind you, and you just can't get the ball snapped.
Man had never had a chance.
And now you go from 3rd and 1 to 4th and a couple.
The Kittens are 1 for 10 on 3rd down. Let's see what they can do on 4th down. Thankfully, they got Ty Davis if they can get him the ball. But Tyshawn Howard's had a rough night snapping. Clean snap, they're going to throw. Miles under pressure. Miles will be sacked.
That's huge. That is a huge play for the Kentwood defense. And it comes from that snap. There you go. You see Miles trying to scramble, can't get away from that Kentwood defense. And just a huge play.
So Ty Davis had 106 yards rushing in the third quarter. 4th and 4. They elect to throw the football. 1st and 10 now at the 27-yard line. Kentwood still alive here.
Yeah, that puts them right back in this football game. And again, had a 3rd and short, couldn't snap the football, turn it over on downs. zips that in there.
And he's got a rocket for an arm as it's caught
by Cooper.
LeBrandon Cooper, who's a senior wide receiver, also backup quarterback for the Kangaroos. Again, if Kentwood could win here, that would result in a three-way tie for first place for the district championship, because Ascension Catholic looks like they're on their way to defeating St. John of Plaquemine. 35-18 the score at last report with 4 minutes left to go.
And how many times the momentum has just changed in this football game?
2nd and 4. Hookfin wanted to run, but he stumbled, and then he gets run over by Tyler Guidry.
Well, there's our guy Guidry. He's been all over the place, but as you mentioned, I think this was a design run by Hookfin, and he just looks to take off with it and loses his footing, and that's enough. That little hesitation right there is enough for Guidry to break down and make the tackle.
Kentwood had just one touchdown last week against Ascension Catholic as Trey Palmer went down with an injury early in that game. Just one touchdown here tonight. They certainly miss Trey Palmer, number 7. They have really missed him here the last 2 weeks. Kangaroos just 3 of 9 on third downs. They got a 3rd down and 7, and we have a whistle.
Got a flag down here.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, Kentwood wants to get another receiver out on the field than the guy that they had, so they'll take the 5-yard penalty. Jonathan Foster trying to avoid a 2-game losing streak to end the regular season. Hookfin. He's got a lot of running room on this side. He's got to get to the 37, and he does. 1st down, Kangaroos. Nice play there by the senior quarterback.
Well, that's big time there by Hookfin again. Told you he's got legs. He can really run, and this time when he reverses field, it's wide open. It's a lot of real estate, uses that speed, and able to just get the 1st down right there. Keep this drive alive. That was a huge 3rd and long pickup there for Kentwood to keep this drive going.
From the 39, on the delay, and the ball comes out again. Wild scramble for it, and I think the Kittens have it. They do. 4th turnover of the night for that Southern Lab defense.
Wow. Well, we saw Brown get some of these end-around carries earlier in the game and some misdirection, and they decide to go back with him, not use their main back, Larry Carter, but decide to go back with Brown, and as he gets out here on the edge, again, ball security, just doesn't have that ball secured, and that's a heck of a play there by Ruth, just reaching in there and stripping that football.
And Edmund Weber, who got an interception earlier in the night, gets a fumble recovery there. And now the Kittens will have a drive that starts in Kentwood territory. That's the big number for Kentwood. 4 turnovers on the night. Ouch.
Yeah, that stings. Yeah, that was a key drive there for Kentwood. Try to retake this lead.
From the 42, Miles breaks a tackle, breaks another one, still on his feet. 1st down, I think. It's close, but what a run by the senior Miles.
Well, and we saw that this will be here. This was here in the 1st half, and they come back to it in the 2nd half. But when you have Ty Davis in the backfield and everybody keying on him, sometimes that backside will stay open there, but good job making the defender hold and miss there, and then just a good piece of running there by Miles.
So it was enough for a 1st down to the 32-yard line.
Well, and here now Southern Lab working on the clock a little bit, and the clock can become an issue if you let them score. So the key here for Kentwood is keeping them out of the end zone, keeping it a 1-possession game.
Nowhere to run that time for Davis. Good. And they say they got it. Does Kentwood? Did the whistle blow?
Yeah, I think they're going to say the whistle blew already, and it was pulled out after the whistle was blown.
Well, that would have been a heck of a defensive play if Ball ended up going to Kentwood. But good job defensively here. Look how many white jerseys surround Ty Davis.
Yeah, you turn him to the outside. See, when you turn him to the outside and you don't let him get going north, then a lot of your teammates can come around, help you out. You see there the ball getting stripped out of there, but it was after that the ref had blew the whistle. Play dead.
Cornelius Dyson stripped it away. Britton Kazaruni on the tackle. Second down and 11. I formation here for the Kittens. Play action fake. Nice job by Miles to get away from the first rusher. Miles using his legs. First down and more. All the way to the 11-yard line. Two big runs by Trey Miles.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a good pickup by Trey Miles. Good job of seeing what's in front of you, but he is very fortunate that this ball doesn't get stripped from. Watch how he's holding this ball right here at the end, and it almost get there, boom, getting pulled right out of his arm. He is extremely fortunate that that ball wasn't stripped out and turned over.
From the 11 now, and then we have movement at the line of scrimmage, and that will cost Kentwood 5 yards. Or Southern Lab. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was Kentwood. Well, if Kentwood struggles on offense, you feel if the Kittens can punch it in here, that might be the ball game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, look, now we're down in 7-minute mark, and you better believe Southern Lab's going to continue to chew and grind this clock. You can't let them in the end zone. I mean, if you want to have a chance in this game, you got to figure out a way, and it's likely going to be number 3 here getting the ball, Ty Davis. You got to figure out a way to stop him.
He's got it. Ty Davis behind Cardell Thomas. Touchdown, Kittens.
Again, you knew where the ball was going and just could not stop it. But if there's any positive for Kentwood on that is that that Southern Lab kind of scored quickly there, and it didn't continue to chew up the clock. But still, now you're going to be down by 2 scores. You see here, nothing fancy. We're just going to run it right at you, the power eye. And Ty Davis just too big, too strong. You allow him to get his momentum behind the pads and start heading north down the field. He's a load. He's tough to bring down.
3 touchdown runs on the night for Ty Davis. To the outside, Kentwood, good pursuit. And we stay an 11-point game. 7:13 left to go in this one. The Kittens leading Kentwood 20-9. Southern Lab now 7-13 away from a district championship. This is Game Time on YurView.
Tonight's Game Time play of the game is brought to you by Podna's Barbecue. Slow cooked, fall off the bone perfection, and the best baked beans in America.
I'm Garrett Graves, and I approve this message. In Washington, those who like to yell and point fingers are usually the ones who can't get anything done. They mistake commotion for progress. There's a different approach, actually solving problems so I can be back home with the people we represent. So that's what I'm doing, solving real problems for real people, not playing the DC game.
Tonight's Game Time League standings are brought to you by the best place for you to live and work in South Louisiana is West Feliciana Parish. Check out WFParish.org. West Feliciana Parish, where you really can have it all.
Tough night for the Kentwood mascot. I think his reaction kind of sums it up for the Kangaroos tonight. It's been a rough go for them offensively, playing without their top player, Trey Palmer, and they now are down by 11, but they got enough athletes here to score a couple touchdowns. Great job on the kickoff coverage, though, for the Kittens. Dakota Day, who's got an interception tonight, making a nice tackle there, and Kentwood, who is offensively challenged here tonight, will start this drive inside their own 20.
Yeah, game of momentum shifts, and now the home team is feeling it. Robbins had been doing a great job with kickoff returns, but this time Southern Lab with good coverage there. Doesn't allow him to start getting his momentum forward by Dakota Day. And now Kentwood's got to open this thing up. They don't have a choice. They're going to have to put Hookfin back in the shotgun, which is where they normally keep him, but he's going to have to begin to challenge down the field, and this is where you're going to have to try to get number 11, Ed McGee, your key wide receiver, involved in some deeper routes here.
Just 20 yards in the second half for the Kangaroos. Quick pass, Robbins moving upfield, got tripped, but still a good play on first down to get him going.
Yeah, and they're going to have to get up to the line. They're going to have to move faster than this. I mean, you got to get up and treat this like a 2-minute drive, because remember, even if you score, you got to get the ball back.
2nd and 2. And taking a lot of time here as they wait to get the play in.
Yeah, this is just taking away. This is precious seconds running off the clock here, knowing you need 2 scores.
Jeriel Brown in the backfield with TJ Hookfin. They put a man in motion. That's Holden. Hookfin. He'll try to run for the first down, and he, oh boy, took a vicious hit there at the end. Got a half a yard. That's it. Now all of a sudden, it's 3rd and 1 as Chris Welch making another tackle for the Kittens.
Or just too much time, and again, have to understand the situation. If you're Hookfin, it's okay to hurl this ball out of bounds, but this is what you don't need. You don't need a 1-yard pickup or 2-yard gain there and brought down to the turf.
Probably 4-down territory here.
Absolutely.
And they'll run it with Carter. Carter, forward progress gives them the first down. That will stop the clock with 5:45. Kentwood still has all 3 of its timeouts. Carter to the lone touchdown on the night for Kentwood.
Yeah, and he appears to be shaken up. We saw him in the first half with a little stinger in the shoulder. I wonder if he's still feeling some of the effects of that.
From the 29. Holden in motion. They'll swing it out to him. Kidry, look at that pursuit. Ball out on the ground again. They say he was down, though. Wow.
I think that's right. I think the ball came out after he'd rolled over on the turf. Let's see. We'll take a good look at it here. Quickly swings the ball out. And again, these receivers need to understand, hey, get what you can and try to get towards out of bounds. Yeah, he's down.
From the 33, 2nd and 6. Pressure coming. Hookfin got out of there. Gets a few yards, and that's it. As the Kittens defense has played well tonight. Sherman Ruth on another stop. Another 3rd down and short coming up for Kentwood. This will be 3rd and 2.
And see, again, there Hookfin had a running lane to the outside. Instead of trying to cut it back into the defense, get to the outside and get what you can and get out of bounds. Stop the clock.
And on 3rd down, all kinds of trouble here, and going down behind the line of scrimmage is Jeriel Brown. A loss of 2, Sherman Ruth right there again. And 4th down, and really the ball game on the line right now for Kentwood. Sherman Ruth is a great high school linebacker. 4th down, Hookfin's pass, incomplete, and that probably does it. Great coverage there by Edmund Weber, who's got a fumble recovery and an interception on the night. Really, his interception changed the complexion of this game because his INT prevented Kentwood from going up 14-0.
Well, this is probably not the guy you want to be picking on 4th down, and I know that's their best receiver, but Weber has really just been the best cover guy on the field tonight. And again, he had locked tight coverage there and able to get his hand in there and disrupt that timing play. And that's probably the play there that may make it impossible here for Kentwood to come back.
So Trey Miles back out there with 4:03 left to go, and the Kittens up by 11. Davis will be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Britton Kazaruni on the tackle Let's go down to the field and Smacker Miles.
Jeff, this Southern Lab team has some extra motivation this year as they sat the playoffs last year because of some LHSA sanctions. Coach Asbury had taken over as the Southern Lab head coach only 5 days before last season. They ended up going 5-5. So obviously this has been a huge year for them and a really exciting time for Coach Asbury and his team as they head into the playoffs and are only a few ways from being possible district champions. It's a pretty impressive career he's had just in a short time at Southern Lab so far.
Ty Davis on senior night, all the way down to the 3-yard line. As he is now over 200 yards rushing for the night.
You see the Ty Davis signs up there, and look, he's showed up on senior night. It's been his night, and getting to the outside and really continuing to do work. Really put his team in a position, put his team on his back and in a position to prevail in this game tonight.
Well, he should cap it off right here. He gets a chance to. Kazarooni in the backfield again. Got to the line of scrimmage, and that's that. Ty Davis says, give it to me one more time here. Let me have one more shot at it.
Let me finish this thing off.
And then he'll go enjoy the LSU game like most everyone else. Southern University off this Saturday. They had a huge win last week against Jackson State, where Darrell Asbury was a quarterback at. .250 yards rushing tonight for Southern Lab, just 61 for Kentwood. Thomas, a nice cut in the backfield, runs over a defender into the end zone. Touchdown, Kittens.
Well, if you wanted an exclamation point, Jeff, there it is. And I tell you what, you could tell on that last play, in between plays, Ty Davis was determined. He was saying, look, he was pointing to him and said, just give me the rock one more time. And golly, that's just big, powerful. That's big boy football, as they say.
Ty Davis, an impressive performance without his running mate back there in Jarvis Thornton. Well, one of the things they decided to do after the loss against U High was to play more of a pro-style offense, not as much spread, get an extra tight end out there, get an extra running back out there, and really have this offense focus in around Davis, and it's paid off. Look at that. Drags a couple of tacklers into the end zone to complete the 2-point conversion. So, Southern Lab, unless a miracle happens here, will be your district champs as they're up 28-9, and your district MVP should be that guy. We do know our player of the game. It's Ty Davis as he carries that football off the field with him. I don't know if he wants to keep it or not, but he should take the momentum from this game. What a great performance by the LSU commitment. That was a run in the first quarter. Here was the first touchdown of the night for number 3. Running hard again here. Cardell Thomas clearing the way. That's 2 touchdown runs. That gave Southern Lab the lead for good. This was a big play here. Southern Lab backed up on their own 5-yard line, and a long run by Davis gets him out of trouble. 213 yards on the night for Ty Davis and 4 touchdowns.
That's work there. How many fantasy points is that, Jeff? I'm wondering, you know.
Not a fantasy football player. 22 rushing touchdowns on the season for Ty Davis.
Yeah, that's big time. Ed Ogeron and gang have to be excited to be getting his services next year. And
4 rushes for more than 25 yards tonight. Let's take a look at our play of the game. It was a wild and crazy first half, and I think this play typifies it. The bad snap, as our play of the game is brought to you by Pondas. Hookman throws it, ball batted in the air, and Dakota Day on the tip drill gets the interception. One of 4 turnovers on the night for the Kentwood offense, and it's been that kind of day for the Kangaroos. Our Pondas play of the game.
Well, but bend and don't break, and Southern Lab's defense, you got to give them some credit. They gave up some yardage early in the football game, but able to come up with some key turnovers to keep Kentwood out of the end zone.
Hookfin has to get out of the pocket. He's been under a lot of pressure in the second half. Chris Welch and Tyler Guidry combined for that stop. Kentwood not looking to use any of their timeouts, at least at the moment, as this thing has just gotten out of control here for the Kangaroos as they have failed to score any points in the second half. Well, Southern Lab, as Smacker was telling you about the LHSA sanctions, they had a couple of state titles taken away from them as part of those sanctions. Back the titles that they had won in 2016 and 2015. Those Southern Lab teams are really darn good. This defense here might be their key to winning a Division IV championship this season. I think those teams, as I recall, were really good on offense. Score a bunch of points on you. Ty Davis was on those teams. Ty Davis would tell you the best team they had at Southern Lab was Kittens made 3 straight trips to the Dome, and that first trip they got blown out by Ouachita Christian. And that was a young group. All of them were sophomores for the most part. Damone Clark was on that team. They got blown out by OCS, but Southern Lab came back the next 2 years and won state championships during the freshman and sophomore years of Ty Davis. So when you look at the playoffs for Division IV, all the other teams, Lafayette Christian is the defending champs, all the other teams got to figure out how do you stop Davis and how do you score on this Southern Lab team.
Yeah, no, that's those are the better parts of this team, the running game and obviously defense. When you start talking about the cornerback play of Weber and the linebackers that you mentioned and Ruth and Triplett.
And when the brackets come out, you're going to want to see where Southern Lab is and where Ascension Catholic is, because that might be the 2 teams that determine who win that division. Southern Lab beat Ascension Catholic in Week 7, 22-19. That is the final play of our game as Kentwood concedes this one, and Southern Lab, they are district champs, and Daryl Asbury is about ready to get chilly.
he put on a lot of jackets and stuff. Hey, look, it's like, come on, coach, take one for the team. Oh, man, they spared him. Yeah,
there they got him. Oh, boy.
He was serious about getting away, wasn't he?
But what a job he's done. Consider where they were, about 14 months ago, 15 months ago when Marcus Randall was terminated as the head coach. Daryl Asbury was just hanging out, basically. Former Southern Lab player who just got done coaching at Texas Southern, gets the call to come back to his alma mater, and he has just led Southern Lab to a district championship and a 9-1 regular season with the 1 loss to University High, the best team in the state. Kentwood, they'll have to regroup here a little bit. They've lost the last 2. Get Trey Palmer healthy and make a run in the 1A playoffs. Let's go down to the field and Smacker Miles.
Guys, Coach Asbury just received a dumping of water all over him in this cold weather. One of the first cold weekends in Louisiana. How does it feel to have that ice cold water all over you and that district championship?
Well, I'll take it as long as these kids deserve it, my coaching staff. These guys are resilient. I mean, we were down early. We went in, we made some adjustments, but they just didn't quit. All 3 phases of the game played together tonight.
Coach, you knew that your defense had improved significantly since that U High game, the only loss of the year. How have they done so well to only allow 9 points tonight?
Great. I mean, those guys have been playing well for mid-season it kind of sputtered a little bit, but they picked it back up. And if we're going to win the championship, it's going to be defense, special teams, and offense.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
Jeff?
Thanks a lot, Smacker, and a little celebration going on for Southern Lab. Your 6th 1A district champs. Feels really good for those seniors that went through a very bad season last year with everything that happened. We'll take a break. We'll wrap things up from Mumford Stadium when we come back. This is Game Time on YurView.
Tonight's Game Time Player of the Game is brought to you by Peak Performance. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone. Stronger, faster, better. Choose Peak. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
I'm Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin. For nearly a decade, my top priority has been protecting the integrity of Louisiana elections. When the Obama Justice Department sued Louisiana, I fought them and won. When radicals tried to get rid of voter ID, I fought them and won. If anyone interferes with Louisiana elections, from Soros to Putin, I'll fight them all and win. I'm Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin. I'm asking for your vote to continue fighting for you.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is for a better life, and we mean that. For you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
Final score from Mumford Stadium on the Southern University campus. The Southern Lab Kittens, your district champs in 6-1A as they defeat their rivals, the Kentwood Kangaroos, 28-9 as Southern Lab went into the locker room. Down 9-8. Darryl Asbury talked about making some adjustments, and he also talked about how the defense led them in this game. And that defense was phenomenal, as Kentwood really didn't do anything offensively in the second half.
Yeah, no, Southern Lab had tremendous linebacker play. They gave up some early yardage, but they were able to come up with some key turnovers, some interceptions by Weber, and then they just rode the big guy. I mean, they said the two big guys, really, and Cardell Thomas and Ty Davis, and, what an exceptional night he had going over the 200-yard mark.
Yeah, certainly. Ty Davis in his final home game in the regular season put on a show here at Mumford Stadium, as he rushed for over 200 yards, had 4 touchdowns, and the Southern Lab defense forced 4 turnovers in this game. And that's really the big difference here, as Kentwood was playing without Trey Palmer, and the Kangaroos offense struggled in this one. Just 170 yards of total offense, 76 came in the second half. Southern Lab had 190 yards. And remember all those penalties in the first half that Southern Lab had? They had 10 of them. They only had 1 in the second half. You see the final numbers on Davis, 213 yards rushing. Hookfin throws 2 interceptions, the quarterback for Kentwood. And the Kangaroos finished the season 8-2. They finished 3rd in this district, and they'll finish somewhere in the top 5 in the power ratings. But they got their work cut out for them, as they need to get Trey Palmer healthy in order to make a run through the 1A playoffs. Well, speaking of the playoffs, that's what happens next here on Game Time, as we will be somewhere next Friday night at 7 o'clock bringing you playoff action, either first round from the select side or the non-select side. Playoff pairing show on CST at 11 a.m. on Sunday. For everyone involved in this broadcast, Eric Coleman, our producer Kim Giat, our director Walter Volpatti, Tommy Cooper, our statistician, Smacker Miles, Jason DeQuare, I'm Jeff Lermo. Thanks for watching Southern Lab District Champs.
Game Time on YurView was brought to you by Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance, ready to serve you with auto, homeowners, life insurance, and more. Real service, real people. West Feliciana Parish. The best place for you to live and work in South Louisiana is West Feliciana Parish. Check out wfparish.org. ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. And by Peak Performance. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone. Stronger, faster, better.
Oh, I've had back pain now and then, but it